Budapest seems a wonderful place. The impression I had was that we were leaving the west and entering the east. We came after nightfall to Klausenberg, where I had supper. A chicken done up some way with red pepper, which was very good, but thirsty. I thought to get the recipe for Mina, so I asked the waiter what it was.
Is paprika styrka. You say paprika handle, national dish. You get it everywhere along the Carpathians.
Having some time at my disposal when in London, I had visited the British Museum and made search among the books and maps in the library regarding Transylvania. It had struck me that some foreknowledge of the country could hardly fail to have some importance in dealing with a noble of that country. I was not able to light on any map or work giving the exact locality of the Castle Dracula, but I found that Bistritz, the post town named by Count Dracula, is a fairly well-known place. I read that every known superstition in the world is gathered into the horseshoe of the Carpathians, as if it were the centre of some sort of imaginative whirlpool. If so, my stay may be very interesting. I did not sleep well, though my bed was comfortable enough, for I had all sorts of queer dreams. In the morning, I had to hurry breakfast, for the train started a little after 8. It was on the dark side of twilight when we got to Bistritz, which is practically on the frontier, for the Borgo Pass leads from it into Bukovina. Count Dracula had directed me to go to the Golden Krone Hotel, where I was evidently expected.
The Herr Englishman?
Yes, Jonathan Harker.
There is a letter here for you, sir.
The letter was from Count Dracula.
My friend, welcome to the Carpathians. I am anxiously expecting you. Sleep well tonight. At 3 tomorrow the diligence will start for Bukovina. A place on it is kept for you. At the Borgo Pass my carriage will await you and will bring you to me. I trust that you will enjoy your stay in my beautiful land. Your friend, Dracula.
4th of May. I found that my landlord had also got a letter from the Count, directing him to secure the best place on the coach for me.
The Count has sent money with the letter.
Do you know the Count Dracula? Can you tell me anything of his castle?
No, I know nothing at all. Nothing.
Must you go? Oh, young Herr, must you go? Do you know what day it is?
Yes, it is the 4th of May.
Yes, it is the eve of St. George's Day. Do you not know that tonight, when the clock strikes midnight, all the evil things in the world will have full sway? Do you know where you are going and what you are going to? At least, young Herr, please wait a day or two before starting.
I thank you, but my duty is imperative. I must go.
Then take this crucifix. Here, wear it round your neck for your mother's sake. I beg you, young Herr.
5th of May. The crucifix is still round my neck. Whether it is the old lady's fear, I do not know, but I am not feeling nearly as easy in my mind as usual. People at the inn door looked at me most pityingly, I thought, and muttered a word meaning something that is either werewolf or vampire. I must ask the Count about these superstitions. Then, when the coach left, the crowd all made the sign of the cross and pointed 2 fingers towards me. I asked a fellow passenger what they meant.
It's a charm or a guard against the evil eye.
I soon lost sight and recollection of ghostly fears in the beauty of the scene as we drove along. At one point, on a steep hill with the horses going slowly, I wished to get down and walk, but the driver would not hear of it.
No, you must not walk here. The dogs are too fierce, and you may have enough of such matters before you go to sleep.
Then, As we flew along through the Borgo Pass, I looked out for the conveyance which was to take me to the Count. Suddenly, the horses began to neigh and snort and plunge wildly. The passengers crossed themselves, and a carriage with 4 horses drew up beside the coach. The driver was a tall man, with a long brown beard and a great black hat, from under which I could see only the gleam of a pair of very bright eyes, which seemed red in the lamplight.
Give me the hare's luggage. Come, the night is chill, mynheer, and my master the Count bade me take all care of you. There is a flask of slivovitz under the seat, if you should require it.
The carriage set off at a hard pace. I struck a match and looked at my watch. It was within a few minutes of midnight. Then, far off in the distance, from the mountains on each side of us, came the howling of wolves. The horses reared and plunged madly, so that the driver had to use all his great strength to keep them from bolting. Suddenly, away on our left, I saw a flickering blue flame. The driver at once checked the horses and, jumping to the ground, went rapidly to where the flame rose. There was a strange optical effect. When he stood between me and the flame, he did not obstruct it, for I could see its ghostly flicker all the same. The wolves began to howl nearer at hand, and became visible in the moonlight. The horses reared. The living ring of terror encompassed us on every side. The driver raised his voice in a tone of imperious command, swept his long arms, and the wolves fell back. Just then a heavy cloud passed across the face of the moon, so that we were again in darkness. The wolves had disappeared, but it was all so strange and uncanny that a dreadful fear came upon me. We swept on our way, now almost in complete darkness, always ascending. Suddenly, I became conscious of the fact that the driver was pulling up the horses in the courtyard of a vast, ruined castle, from whose tall black windows came no ray of light.
We have arrived, mynheer. The castle of Count Dracula.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 5th of May, Dracula's Castle.
The driver jumped down and assisted me to alight. His hand seemed like a steel vice that could have crushed mine if he had chosen. Then he disappeared down one of the dark openings that led from the great courtyard. I stood before a great door in silence. Of bell or knocker there was no sign. I felt fears and doubts crowding upon me. Was this a customary incident in the life of a solicitor sent out to explain the purchase of a London estate to a foreigner?
Welcome to my house. Enter freely and of your own will.
Count Dracula?
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome, Mr. Harker. Come in, the night air is chill, and you must need to eat and rest. I will take your luggage. It is late and my people are not available. Come, supper is laid out. Pray be seated. You will, I trust, excuse me that I do not join you, but I have dined already, and I do not sup.
When I had finished an excellent supper of roast chicken, cheese, salad, and some old Tokai, I had the opportunity of observing my host. His face was a very strong, aquiline, with high bridge of the thin nose and strangely arched nostrils. The mouth, so far as I could see it under the heavy moustache, was fixed and rather cruel-looking, with sharp white teeth. The general effect was one of extraordinary pallor. We talked for many long hours, until at length, as I looked towards the window, I saw the first dim streak of the coming dawn, and heard, as if from down below in the valley, the howling of many wolves.
You must be tired. Your bedroom is all ready, and tomorrow you shall sleep as late as you will. I have to be away till the afternoon. So sleep well and dream well.
7th of May. I slept till late in the day, and when I awoke of my own accord, I found a cold breakfast laid out. There was a card on the table.
I have to be absent for a while. Do not wait for me, Dracula.
I have not yet seen a servant anywhere in the castle, or heard a sound except the howling of wolves. In none of the rooms is there a mirror, and I had to get the little shaving glass from my bag before I could either shave or brush my hair. I looked about for something to read. I opened a door and found a sort of library with a vast number of English books, magazines, and newspapers.
Ah, Mr. Harker. I'm glad you found your way in here, for I'm sure there is much that will interest you. Come to this room when you choose. Go anywhere you wish in the castle, except where the doors are locked. There is reason that all things are as they are. We are in Transylvania, and Transylvania is not England. Our ways are not your ways. But come, tell me of London and the house you have procured for me.
Well, at Purfleet, on a by-road, I came across just such a place as seemed to be required, an estate called Carfax. The house is old and large, close to an old chapel. There are few houses near at hand, one being a very large house recently formed into a private lunatic asylum.
I rejoice that it is old and big, and that there is a chapel of old times. We Transylvanian nobles love not to think that our bones may be among the common dead. I seek not gaiety or mirth. I love the shade and the shadow, and would be alone with my thoughts. And now, you must excuse me for a time.
When he had gone, I found an atlas which opened naturally at England, as if that map had been much used. 3 places were marked with little rings, one near London, where the Count's new estate was situated. The other 2 were Exeter and Whitby on the Yorkshire coast. The Count returned and led me into supper, again excusing himself as he had dined away from home. We chatted until it was very late. All at once we heard the crow of a cock coming up through the clear morning air. Count Dracula jumped to his feet, and with a courtly bow immediately left me. 8th of May. I slept for only a few hours when I went to bed, then got up and was just beginning to shave when I felt the Count's hand on my shoulder. I looked in my shaving glass, and there was no reflection of him in the mirror. I must have started and cut myself. The blood was trickling over my chin, and I turned to look for some sticking plaster. When the Count saw my face, his eyes blazed with a sort of demoniac fury, and he suddenly made a grab at my throat. His hands touched the string of beads which held the crucifix, and his fury passed instantly.
Take care how you cut yourself. It is more dangerous than you think in this country. And this is the wretched thing that has done the mischief, this shaving glass. Away with it!
Later I saw the Count laying the table in the dining room, and then found him making the bed in my room, which only confirmed what I had thought all along, that there were no servants in the house. The Count himself must have been my coachman. I did a little exploring in the castle. There were doors everywhere, and all locked and bolted. In no place, save from the windows in the castle wall, is there an available exit. The castle is a veritable prison, and I am a prisoner. I suppose I must have fallen asleep, but all that followed was startlingly real. In the moonlight opposite me were 3 young women with brilliant white teeth that shone like pearls against the ruby of their voluptuous lips. I felt in my heart a deadly fear, yet at the same time a wicked, burning desire that they would kiss me with those red lips.
He is young and strong. There are kisses for us all.
Go on. You are first. We shall follow. You begin. Yes, there are kisses for us all.
Back! Back! How dare you touch him, any of you? This man belongs to me. You yourselves know that. I promise you that when I am done with him, you shall kiss him at your will. Now go. There is work to be done. There.
He threw them a bag, which seemed to contain a living thing within it. If my ears did not deceive me, there was a gasp and a low wail as of a half-smothered child. The women closed round it, and they simply seemed to fade into the rays of the moonlight and pass out through the window with the bag. The horror overcame me, and I sank down unconscious.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 16th of May, Dracula's Castle.
Tonight, I looked from my window out over the beautiful expanse, bathed in soft yellow moonlight. My eye was caught of a sudden by something moving below me, from where the windows of the Count's room would look out. To my horror, I saw the Count slowly emerge from the window and begin to crawl down the castle wall over that dreadful abyss, face down, with his cloak spreading out around him like great wings. I saw the fingers and toes grasp the corners of the stones, and by thus using every projection, move downwards with considerable speed, just as a lizard moves along a wall. 17th of May. In the evening, when the Count came from his room, he began by asking me questions on legal matters and on the doing of certain kinds of business. He went on to inquire about the means of making consignments and the forms to be gone through. When he had satisfied himself on these points, he suddenly stood up.
Have you written since your first letter to our friend Mr. Hawkins?
No. As yet, I have not seen any opportunity of sending letters to anybody.
Then write now, my young friend. 3 letters. One saying that your work here is nearly done, another that you are starting on the next morning from the time of the letter, and the third that you have left the castle and arrived at Bistritz.
But what dates should I put on the letters?
Let me see. The first should be June the 12th, the second June the 19th, and the third June the 29th.
I know now the span of my life. God help me. 31st of May. This morning when I woke, I found that all my papers were gone. My notes, my letters of credit, anything that might be useful to me were I outside the castle. I could find no trace also of the suit in which I had travelled, nor my overcoat and rug. 17th of June. This morning I saw drive into the yard 2 large wagons containing great square boxes with handles of thick rope. These were evidently empty by the ease with which the Slovaks handled them, and they were unloaded and packed in a heap in a corner of the yard. 24th of June, before morning. The Sagani are quartered somewhere in the castle, and are doing work of some kind. I know it, for now and then I hear a far-away, muffled sound as of mattock and spade, and whatever it is, it must be to the end of some ruthless villainy. I had been at the window somewhat less than half an hour, when I saw something come out of the Count's window. I drew back and watched carefully, and saw the whole man emerge. It was a new shock to me to find that he had on the suit of clothes which I had worn whilst travelling here, and slung over his shoulder the terrible bag which I had seen the women take away. There could be no doubt as to his quest, and in my garb too. This then is his new scheme of evil, that he will allow others to see me as they think, so that he may leave evidence that I have been seen in the towns or villages posting my own letters. I sat for a long time at the window, and began to notice that there were some quaint little specks floating in the rays of the moonlight. There was a low howling of dogs somewhere far below in the valley, and the floating motes of dust seemed to take new shapes to the sound. I was becoming hypnotized. The phantom shapes, which gradually materialized from the moonbeams, were those of the 3 ghostly women to whom I was doomed. I fled to where a lamp was burning brightly. When a couple of hours had passed, I heard a sound in the courtyard outside, the agonized cry of a woman. I rushed to the window and peered out between the bars.
Monster! Give me my child!
Somewhere overhead, I heard the voice of the Count in his harsh, metallic whisper. His call seemed to be answered from far and wide by the howling of wolves. Before many minutes had passed, a pack of them poured, like a pent-up dam when liberated, through the wide entrance into the courtyard. There was no cry from the woman, and the howling of the wolves was but short. Before long they streamed away singly, licking their lips. What shall I do? What can I do? How can I escape? When I was about to lie down, I thought I heard a whispering at my door.
Back to your own place. Your time is not yet come. Have patience. Tomorrow night, he is yours.
I threw open the door and saw without the 3 terrible women licking their lips. Tomorrow. Lord, help me, and those to whom I am dear. It has always been at night time that I have been molested or threatened, or in some way in danger or in fear. I have not yet seen the Count in the daylight. Can it be that he sleeps when others wake, that he may be awake whilst they sleep? If I could only get into his room. But there is no possible way. The door is always locked. Yes, there is a way if one dares to take it. Where his body has gone, why may not another body go? I have seen him crawl from his window. Why should not I imitate him and go in by his window? The same day, later. I have made the effort, and God helping me, I have climbed the stones to the Count's window. The room was empty, but an open door at one corner led through a stone passage to a circular stairway which went steeply down. I descended and found myself in an old, ruined chapel, evidently used as a graveyard. There, in one of the great boxes, on a pile of newly dug earth, lay the Count. He was either dead or asleep, but the eyes were open, and on the lips were gouts of fresh blood. This was the awful creature, the filthy leech I was helping to transfer to London, where he might further satiate his lust for blood and create a new circle of semi-demons to batten on the helpless. I had a terrible desire to rid the world of such a monster. I seized a shovel and struck at the hateful face. But as I did so, the head turned, and the eyes fell full upon me with all their blaze of basilisk horror. The shovel fell from my hand and caught the edge of the lid, which crashed down, hiding the bloated, blood-stained face from my sight. I heard voices coming closer, and ran back to the Count's room. The door from the stairway blew to behind me, and when I went to push it open, I found that it was hopelessly fast. I was again a prisoner, and the net of doom was closing round me. As I write, there is in the passage below a sound of many tramping feet, and the crash of weights being set down heavily, doubtless the boxes with their freight of earth. There is a sound of hammering. It is the box being nailed down. The door is shut, and the chains rattle. There is a grinding of the key in the lock. In the courtyard and down the rocky way, the roll of heavy wheels, the crack of whips, and the chorus of the Tskani as they pass into the distance. I am alone in the castle with those awful women. I shall not remain alone with them. I shall try to scale the castle wall farther than I have yet attempted. I may find a way from this dreadful place, and then away for home, away to the quickest and nearest train, away from this cursed spot, from this cursed land. At least God's mercy is better than that of these monsters, and the precipice is steep and high. At its foot man may sleep as a man. Goodbye, all. Mina.
From Miss Mina Murray to Miss Lucy Westenra, 9th of May.
My dearest Lucy, forgive my long delay in writing, but I've been working very hard lately, keeping up with Jonathan's studies, so that when we are married I shall be able to be useful to him, taking down in shorthand what he wants to say and writing it out for him on the typewriter, at which I'm practising very hard. I've just had a few hurried lines from Jonathan in Transylvania. He is well, and will be returning in about a week. Tell me all the news when you write. I hear rumours of a tall, handsome, curly-haired man. Your loving Mina.
Miss Lucy Westenra to Miss Mina Murray, 24th of May.
My dearest Mina, someone has evidently been telling tales. The tall, curly-haired man is Mr. Holmwood, who often comes to see us. He and Mamma get on very well together. We met some time ago a man that would just do for you, if you were not already engaged to Jonathan. He is a doctor and really clever. He has an immense lunatic asylum all under his own care. His name is John Seward. Mina, we have told all our secrets to each other since we were children. Here am I, 20 in September, and today I have had 3 proposals. One was from Dr. John Seward, the lunatic asylum man. Number 2 came after lunch from such a nice fellow, an American from Texas called Mr. Quincy P. Morris. And number 3. I needn't tell you of number 3, need I? Oh, Mina, can't you guess? I love him. Arthur. I love him. I love him. Goodbye, Lucy.
From Dr. Seward's diary, 25th of May.
Since my rebuff yesterday, I've had a sort of empty feeling. The only cure for this sort of thing is work, so I went down among the patients and picked out one who was quite unlike the normal lunatic, R.M. Renfield, age 59, great physical strength, morbidly excitable, a possibly dangerous man with some fixed idea which I cannot make out.
Quincy P. Morris to the Honourable Arthur Holmwood, 25th of May. My dear Art, we've told yarns by the campfire in the prairies. Now there are more yarns to be told and another health to be drunk. Let it be at my campfire tomorrow night. There will be one other, our old pal Jack Seward, and we want to mingle our weeps over the wine cup and to drink a health with all our hearts to the happiest man in the world who has won the noblest heart that God has made. From Arthur Holmwood to Quincy P. Morris, 26th of May.
Count me in every time.
From the Journal of Mina Murray, 24th of July, Whitby.
Lucy met me at the station, looking sweeter and lovelier than ever. And we drove up to the house at the Crescent, where they have rooms. Right above the town is the ruin of Whitby Abbey, which was sacked by the Danes. We met a funny old man, Mr. Swales, who told us that he was nearly 100. Lucy and I had been sitting a while when he pointed to a stone at our feet.
It's like the rest on 'em. Nothing but lies of one kind or another. Here lies the body and such like. In nigh half on 'em, there ain't no bodies at all. Here, read them lines on that there stone.
Sacred to the memory of George Cannon, who died on July the 29th, 1873, falling from the rocks at Kettleness. This tomb is erected by his sorrowing mother.
Aye, the sorrowing mother was a hell-cat that hated him, and he hated her. So he committed suicide, so she shouldn't get an insurance he put on his life. He blew nigh the top of his head off with a musket and fell off the rocks.
Oh, and it's my favourite seat. Now I find I am sitting over the grave of a suicide.
26th of July. Today I came up to the same place alone, for I'm anxious about Lucy and about Jonathan. Yesterday, dear Mr. Hawkins sent me a letter from Jonathan. It's only a line, dated from the castle Dracula, and says that he is just starting for home. That's not like him, and it makes me uneasy. Then Lucy, although she is so well, has taken to her old habit of walking in her sleep. She is to be married to Arthur Holmwood in the autumn, and is already planning her dresses and how the house is to be arranged. I do the same, but Jonathan and I will start life in a very simple way. 3rd of August. Another week gone, and still no news from Jonathan. Oh, I do hope he's not ill. I looked at that last letter of his. It is his writing, yet it does not read like him. Lucy walks more than ever in her sleep, and there's an odd concentration about her I do not understand. 6th of August. Still no news. Lucy is more excitable than ever. Last night was very threatening, and the fishermen say that we are in for a terrible storm. I met old Mr. Swales again on my walk along the cliff top.
I'm afraid, my dearie, I must have shocked you by what I've been saying about the dead and such like. Well, we old folks that be daffle with 1 foot abaft the croak wall, well, for the likes of us, death be all that we can rightly depend on. For life be, after all, a waiting for something else. But Lord love ye, miss, I ain't afraid of dying. It's coming to me, and coming quick. It may be coming while we be looking and wondering. Maybe it's in that wind out over at sea that's bringing with loss and wreck and sore distress. Look, there's something in that wind that sounds and tastes and smells like death. Ooh, it's in the air. I feel it coming. God bless you, miss. God bless you. And goodbye.
All that touched me and upset me very much. And I was glad when the Coast Guard came along with his spyglass. He was looking out to sea at a strange ship.
I can't make her out. She's a Russian by look of her, but she's knocking about in queerest way. She don't know her mind a bit. She seems to see storm coming, but she can't decide whether to run up north in Topen or to put in here. Look there again. She changes about with every puff of wind. We'll hear more of her before this time tomorrow.
The Daily Graph, 8th of August, from a correspondent. Whitby. One of the greatest and suddenest storms on record has just been experienced here. There were tempestuous winds and high seas, with drifting sea fog, which cleared at times to enable the new Eastcliff searchlight to pick out a foreign schooner, with sails all set, beyond the great flat reef on which so many good ships have suffered. The wind suddenly shifted, and swept the strange schooner into the safety of the harbour, where she drove up on a sand-heap. At the very instant the shore was touched, an immense dog sprang from the deck onto the sand and disappeared into the darkness. I was permitted to climb on board, and saw for myself that the man at the helm was a dead seaman, actually lashed to the wheel. The schooner is a Russian one from Varna, the Demeter, with only a small amount of cargo, a number of great wooden boxes filled with mould. This cargo was consigned to a Whitby solicitor, Mr. Billington, who has taken possession of the goods. The dog which landed when the ship struck is not to be found, but early this morning a large mastiff belonging to a coal merchant here was seen dead in the roadway. It had been fighting, and manifestly had a savage opponent, for its throat was torn away, and its belly was slit open as if with a savage claw. The log of the Demeter was found, and contains a strange narrative.
6th of July, Varna. Took in charge boxes of earth, set sail. 12th of July, through Dardanelles. Crew seems scared about something, continually crossing themselves. 16th of July. Mate reported that one of the crew, Petrovsky, missing. 17th of July. One of the men thought there was strange man aboard the ship, tall, thin, unlike any of crew. Searched the ship, but only wooden boxes, so no corner where man might hide. 24th of July. There seems some doom over this ship. Entered Bay of Biscay, and another man lost. Disappeared. 28th July. Wind abating, but sea still terrific. Another tragedy. Second mate disappeared. 30th July. Nearing England. Awoken by mate telling me both men of watch and steerman missing. Only self and mate and 2 hands left to work ship. 2nd August. 3 days of fog. We seem to be drifting to some terrible doom. Man on watch disappeared. We are now off in North Sea. 4th of August. It is nearly all over now. Mate seems to have gone stark raving mad, claiming to have seen strange, ghastly, pale man in one of the boxes. I went to relieve man at wheel, but found no one there. Mate came up hatchway.
Save me! He is there! I know the secret now! Only the sea will save me from him!
Before I could say a word, he deliberately threw himself into the sea. But I am captain, and I must not leave my ship. I shall yet baffle this fiend or monster, for I shall tie my hands to the wheel when my strength begins to fail, and along with them I shall tie that which it dare not touch, a crucifix. Then I shall save my soul and my honor as captain. God help me.
From the Diary of Dr. John Seward, 5th of June.
The case of Renfield grows more interesting, and just now his hobby is catching flies. 18th of June. He has turned his mind now to spiders, and keeps feeding them with his flies. 1st of July. His spiders are now becoming a great nuisance, and today I told him he must get rid of them. He disgusted me much while I was with him, for when a horrid blowfly, bloated with some carrion food, buzzed into the room, He caught it, put it into his mouth, and ate it. This gave me an idea. I must watch how he gets rid of his spiders. 8th of July. Now, there is method in his madness, and the idea in my mind is growing. Renfield has parted with some of his pets, and got a new one, a sparrow, which he has partially tamed. 19th of July. Now, we are progressing. He now has a whole colony of sparrows, and his flies and spiders are almost obliterated. 20th of July. Visited Renfield very early. I did not see any of his birds, and asked him where they were.
They have all flown away.
There were a few feathers about the room, and on his pillow a drop of blood. I told the keeper to report to me if there were anything odd about him during the day.
Doctor, Renfield has just been very sick, and he's disgorged a whole lot of feathers. My belief is, Doctor, that he's eaten his birds, and that he just took and ate them raw.
Yes, my theory is proved. This homicidal maniac is of a peculiar kind. I shall call him a zoophagus, a life-eating maniac. He gave flies to the spiders to a bird, and then... what would have been his later steps?
From the Journal of Mina Murray, 10th of August.
Lucy was restless all night, and got up twice and dressed herself. Fortunately, each time I awoke and managed to undress her without waking her. The storm was fearful, and I felt glad that Jonathan was not on the sea. But is he on land or sea? Where is he? And how is he? Oh, I'm fearfully anxious about him. Poor old Mr. Swales was found dead this morning, with a look of horror on his face that men said made them shudder. 11th of August. I woke with a start at 3 a.m. and found that Lucy's bed was empty. Her clothes were in their places, so she must have gone out in only her nightdress. The hall door was half open, and there was a bright full moon outside, but heavy driving clouds. I ran along the east cliff, and as the abbey came into view in the moonlight, the light of the moon struck her half-reclining figure, snowy white, there on our favourite seat. The shadow of a cloud shut out the light almost immediately, but it seemed to me that something dark stood behind the seat and bent over it. Whether it was man or beast, I could not tell. I flew towards the seat as fast as I could, calling out to Lucy. Something long and black, bending over her white figure, raised its head, and I could see a white face and red gleaming eyes. A cloud passed over the moon again as I ran through the churchyard, but when I reached Lucy she was quite alone and still asleep, though breathing in long heavy gasps. She shuddered as though she felt the cold, so I flung my warm shawl over her, fastening it at her throat with a big safety pin. I must have been clumsy and pricked her with it, for she put her hand to her throat and moaned. Wishing to get her home at once, I shook her till she opened her eyes and awoke. Fortunately, we got home without meeting a soul, and I tucked her into bed.
Mina, promise me that you will not say a word of this to anyone, even my mother.
Very well, I promise. Lucy slept till I woke her, and the adventure of the night does not seem to have harmed her. I was sorry to notice the effects of my clumsiness with a safety pin. I must have pinched up a piece of skin and transfixed it, for there were 2 little red points like pinpricks, and on her nightdress was a drop of blood. Fortunately, it cannot leave a scar, it's so tiny. 13th of August. Twice during the night I was awakened by Lucy trying to get out of the room, but I'd locked the door and the key was tied to my wrist. On the second occasion, Lucy pointed to the window, and when I pulled aside the blind, I saw between me and the moonlight a great bat coming and going in great whirling circles. It came quite close, but was, I suppose, frightened at seeing me, and flitted away across the harbour towards the abbey. Lucy then slept peacefully and did not stir again all night. 14th of August. Lucy and I were on the east cliff again, reading and writing all day. We were coming home for dinner just as the sun was dropping behind Kettleness, when Lucy looked back at the seat where a dark figure was seated alone.
His red eyes again. They are just the same.
It was an odd remark to make. though it did seem to me for an instant as if the stranger had great eyes like burning flames. But a second look dispelled the illusion. Lucy had a headache and went to bed straight after dinner. I went out for a little stroll by myself, thinking sadly of Jonathan. On the way home, I glanced up at the window. I saw Lucy, her head resting against the side of the windowsill and her eyes shut. She was fast asleep, and by her side on the windowsill was something that looked like a good-sized bird. I ran upstairs to find her still asleep, but moving back to her bed, breathing heavily and holding her hand to her throat. She looks so sweet as she sleeps, but she's paler than is her wont, and there's a drawn, haggard look about her eyes I do not like. 15th of August. Lucy was tired and slept on till after breakfast. We had a happy surprise. Arthur's father, who had been ill, is much better and wants the marriage to come off soon. Lucy's mother is glad and sorry, all at once.
Yes, I grieve to lose Lucy as my very own, but I am happy that she is soon to have someone to protect her. For myself, well, I have got my death warrant. Do not tell Lucy this. The doctor says that my heart is weakening, and within a few months, at the most, I must die.
17th of August. No news from Jonathan. And Lucy seems to be growing weaker, whilst her mother's hours are numbering to a close. I do not understand why Lucy is fading away as she is. I looked at her throat as she lay asleep, and the tiny wounds seem not to have healed. They are still open, and if anything larger than before, like little white dots with red centres.
From Samuel F. Billington and Son, Solicitors, Whitby, to Messrs. Carter Patterson and Company, London, 17th of August.
Dear Sirs, herewith please receive invoice of goods sent by Great Northern Railway. Same are to be delivered to Carfax in Purfleet, immediately on receipt at Good Station, King's Cross. The house is empty at present, but enclosed, please find keys. You will deposit the boxes, 50 in number, in the part of the house marked A, on diagram enclosed. You are to leave the keys in the main hall of the house.
From Messrs. Carter Patterson and Company, London, to Messrs. Billington and Son, Whitby, 21st of August.
Dear Sirs, we beg to advise you that goods are delivered in exact accordance with your instructions and keys left in the main hall.
From the Journal of Mina Murray, 18th of August.
Lucy is ever so much better today. Last night she slept well and did not disturb me once. The roses seem to be coming back to her cheeks already, although she's still sadly pale and wan-looking. I asked her if she'd dreamed at all that night.
No, I didn't quite dream. It all seemed to be quite real. I heard a lot of dogs howling at once, and then I have a vague memory of something long and dark with red eyes, just as we saw in the sunset, and something very sweet and very bitter all around me at once. And then I seemed to be sinking into deep green water, and there was a singing in my ears, as I have heard there is to drowning men. And my soul seemed to go out of my body and float about the air. And then there was a sort of agonizing feeling, as if I were in an earthquake, and I came back and found you shaking me.
From the Journal of Mina Murray, 19th of August.
At last, news of Jonathan. The dear fellow has been ill. That is why he did not write. I am to leave in the morning to bring him home. Mr. Hawkins said it would not be a bad thing if we were to be married out there. The news came in a letter from Sister Agatha of the Hospital of St. Joseph and St. Mary in Budapest.
Dear Madam, I write by desire of Mr. Jonathan Harker, who is himself not strong enough to write, though progressing well, thanks to God and St. Joseph and St. Mary. He has been under our care for nearly 6 weeks, suffering from a violent brain fever. He has told me all about you, and that you are shortly to be his wife. All blessings to you both. He has had some fearful shock, so says our doctor. And in his delirium, his ravings have been dreadful, of wolves and poison and blood, of ghosts and demons, and I fear to say of what. We should have written long ago, but we knew nothing of his friends, and there was on him nothing that anyone could understand. He came in the train from Klausenburg, and the guard was told by the station master there that he rushed into the station shouting for a ticket for home. Be assured that he is well cared for. He has won all hearts by his sweetness and gentleness. He is truly getting on well, and I have no doubt will in a few weeks be all himself. But be careful of him for safety's sake. There are, I pray God and St. Joseph and St. Mary, many, many happy years for you both. Yours with sympathy and all blessings, Sister Agatha.
From the Diary of Dr. John Seward, 19th of August.
Strange and sudden change in Renfield last night. About 8 o'clock he began to get excited and sniff about as a dog does when setting.
I don't want to talk to you. You don't count now. The master is at hand.
And then he became quite quiet, looking into space resignedly. I went to bed, but lay sleepless, thinking of Lucy.
Doctor! Renfield's escaped. I saw him not 10 minutes ago, asleep in his bed, and then I heard a noise. I saw his feet disappearing through the window. He's only in his nightclothes, so he can't be far off. He went off towards Carfax.
I ran after him as quickly as I could, and on the far side of the house I found him pressed against the old door of the chapel. My men were close behind me, but Renfield did not seem to notice us.
I'm here to do your bidding, master. I am your slave, and you will reward me now you are near. I await your commands.
When we closed in on him, he fought like a tiger. He is immensely strong, and I never saw a lunatic in such a paroxysm of rage before. He is safe now, at any rate, in a straitjacket, and chained to the wall in the padded room.
From Mina Harker to Lucy Westenra, Budapest, 24th of August.
My dear Lucy, I am with Jonathan, and we are married. I found him very thin and pale. Sister Agatha tells me that he raved of dreadful things while he was not himself, but she would not tell me what they were. Among Jonathan's things was a notebook, and I thought that there I might find some clue to his trouble. I asked him to let me look at it.
Here, take it and keep it. The secret is here, and I do not want to know it. Read it if you will, but never let me know. I want to take up my life here, with our marriage.
My dear, I shall wrap it up and seal the wax with my wedding ring. I shall keep it so as a sign that we trust each other, and I will never open it unless it is for your own dear sake.
My dear wife, the dearest thing in all the wide world.
From Lucy Westenra to Mina Harker, Whitby, 30th of August.
My dearest Mina, oceans of love and millions of kisses. And may you soon be in your own home with your husband. You will be glad to know that I have quite given up walking in my sleep. By the way, Arthur is here, and we are to be married on the 28th of next month. Your loving Lucy.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 23rd of August.
Another night adventure. Renfield escaped again, and we followed him into the grounds of the deserted house, and found him in the same place. At first he was furious, and then suddenly grew calm. He looked into the moonlit sky, but I could see nothing except a big bat, which was flapping its silent and ghostly way to the west.
From the Diary of Lucy Westenra, 25th of August.
I seem to be dreaming again, just as I did at Whitby. Last night there was a sort of scratching or flapping at the window, and then I must have fallen asleep, for there were more bad dreams. This morning I am horribly weak. My face is ghastly pale, and my throat pains me.
From Arthur Holmwood to Dr. Seward, 31st of August.
My dear Jack, I want you to do me a favour. Lucy is ill. She looks dreadful and is getting worse every day. I've told her that I should ask you to see her. Do not fail to write me fully to Wing, where I am summoned to see my father, who is worse. Arthur.
From Dr. Seward to Arthur Holmwood, 2nd of September.
My dear old fellow, with regard to Miss Westenra's health, I hasten to let you know that in my opinion there is not any functional disturbance or malady that I know of. At the same time, I am not by any means satisfied with her appearance, and I've come to the conclusion that it must be something mental. I have written to my old friend and master, Professor Van Helsing, of Amsterdam, who is a philosopher and metaphysician, and one of the most advanced scientists of his day. He will see Miss Westenra tomorrow.
Dr. Van Helsing and the other gentlemen are here, ma'am.
My dear young Miss Westenra, I have the so great pleasure because you are so beloved. They told me you were of a ghastly pale, or to them I say, my good friend John here, how can he know anything of young ladies? He has his madmans to play with. Now, I make a little examination, and we have a little talk. So, now I take a look, if you please.
Well, what do you think?
I have made careful examination, but there is no functional cause. With you, I agree. There has been much blood lost. It has been, but is not. Blood hath been shed ere now. And yet there is cause. There is always cause for everything. I must go back home and think. You must send to me the telegram every day, and if there be cause, I shall come again.
But meanwhile, what am I to tell my friend, Arthur Holmwood? He and Miss Westenra are to be married, you know.
Oh, tell him all you think. Tell him what I think, if you can guess it, if you will. No, I'm not jesting. This is no jest, but life and death, perhaps more. So, do not forget the telegram every day.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 4th of September.
Renfield still keeps up our interest in him. Sometimes he broods, with a sullen, woe-begone look in his face, and then there are the occasional violent outbursts, and today occurring at high noon and at sunset. But there may be a clue there.
Telegram from Seward, London, to Van Helsing, Amsterdam, 4th of September.
Patient still better today.
From Seward, London, to Van Helsing, Amsterdam, 5th of September.
Patient greatly improved, good appetite, sleeps naturally, good spirits, colour coming back.
From Seward, London, to Van Helsing, Amsterdam, 6th of September.
Terrible change for the worse. Come at once. Do not lose an hour.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 7th of September.
Van Helsing arrived promptly, and we were shown up to Lucy's room. If I was shocked when I saw her yesterday, I was horrified today. She was ghastly, chalkily pale. The bones of her face stood out prominently, and the red seemed to have gone even from her lips and gums.
My God, this is dreadful. There is no time to be lost. She will die for sheer want of blood. There must be transfusion of blood at once. Is it you or me?
I am younger and stronger, Professor. It must be me.
Then get ready at once. I am prepared.
Arthur, what are you doing here?
Jack, I was so anxious I had to come. Is not this gentleman Dr. Van Helsing?
I am he.
Sir, I am so grateful to you for coming. What are we to do?
Young miss is bad, very bad. She wants blood, and blood she must have, or die. We are about to perform what we call transfusion, and John here was to give his blood, but you are the man we want. You're better than me, better than my friend John. Our blood is not so bright than yours.
My life is hers, and I would give the last drop of blood in my body for her.
Good boy. Come now, and be silent. You shall kiss her once before it is done, but then you must go. Now, little miss, here is your medicine. Drink it off like a good child.
Yes.
So, and now you fall into deep sleep. Good. Now you may take that one little kiss. Friend John, help to me whilst I bring over the table. So, now we begin. Now, do not stir. Lie quietly, young man.
What do you make of that mark on her throat?
What do you make of it? 2 punctures just over Dracula vein. Not large, but not looking wholesome. No sign of disease, but edges are white and worn-looking, as if by some trituration. I must go back to Amsterdam tonight. There are books and things there which I want. You must remain here all the night, and you must not let your sight pass from her. Remember, she's your charge. If you leave her and harm befall, you shall not sleep easy hereafter. I am finished here. Now, take down our brave young lover, give him of the port wine, and let him lie down a while. He has saved her life this time.
I sat up all night with Lucy. At first it appeared that she did not want to sleep, but I was able to reassure her by my presence and the promise that nothing would happen. So she slept, and there was a smile on her face, as evidence that no bad dreams had come to disturb her peace of mind. The next night I was pretty tired and worn out, but Lucy was in cheerful spirits.
No sitting up tonight for you. I'm quite well again, so you can lie on the sofa in the next room, and I shall leave the door open. Tonight I shall not fear to sleep, since you are close at hand, and I can call you if I want anything.
Next morning I was conscious of the Professor's hand on my head, and started awake all in a second.
And how is our patient?
Well, when I left her.
Good. Come, let us see. Oh, God in himmel! Quick, bring the brandy. It is not too late. Her heart still beats, though but feebly. All our work is undone, and we must begin again. There is no young Arthur here now. I have to call on you yourself this time, friend John, for the transfusion. So.
I did my part, and Lucy slept well into the day. When she woke, she was fairly well and strong, though not nearly so much so as the day before. Van Helsing came in with a large parcel, from which he took a great bundle of white flowers.
These are for you, Miss Lucy, but not for you to play with. These are medicines. I put him in your window, and I make a pretty wreath and hang him round your neck, so that you sleep well.
Why, Professor, I believe you are having a joke with me. These flowers are only common garlic.
No, I never jest. This is grim purpose in all I do. But take care, for the sake of others, if not for your own. I only do for your good. There is much virtue to you in this so common flower.
Come, friend John. You shall help me deck the room with my garlic, which is all the way from Harlem. Come, first we fasten the windows and latch them securely. So, then we rub the flowers over the sashes and all over the door, and now round the fireplace.
You know, Professor, someone might think you were working some spell to keep out an evil spirit.
Perhaps I am. Now, Miss Lucy, this wreath I have made for you, you must wear round the neck. Take care you do not disturb it, and even if the room feel close, do not tonight open window or door. We come tomorrow early to see our pretty miss, so much more strong for my spell which I have worked.
11th of September. Van Helsing and I arrived at Hillingham at 8 o'clock. It was a lovely morning, with bright sunshine.
Ah, Mrs. Westenra, good morning. How is our patient?
You will be glad to know that Lucy is better. The dear child is still asleep. I haven't disturbed her.
Aha! My treatment is working, and that is good.
Don't take all the credit for yourself, Doctor. Part is due to me. The room was awfully stuffy in the night, and those horrible, strong-smelling flowers were everywhere, even some round her neck. I feared that the odour would be too much for Lucy, so I took them all away, opened the window to let in a little fresh air.
But what have you done? Those flowers have medicinal value. The breathing of their odour is part of the system of cure. Nothing must remove from her room without first I am consulted. Oh, God, all the powers of the devils are against us. Come, we must act. Devils or no devils, or all the devils at once, it matters not. We fight him all the same. My God, as I expected. Now there is need for yet another operation of transfusion of blood.
I am ready.
No, friend John. Today you must operate. I shall provide. You are weakened already. We do this now, then I watch tonight. Pray tomorrow.
The Pall Mall Gazette, 18th of September. The Escaped Wolf. An interview with the keeper in the Zoological Gardens.
After many inquiries, I managed to find the keeper of the wolf section in the Zoological Gardens, a Mr. Thomas Builder.
Yeah, all right, Governor. This here's about the old story. There's a wolf, what we called Bersiger. Nice, well-behaved wolf, never gave us no trouble. Well, it was yesterday, Bersiger started tearing like a mad thing at the bars as if he wanted to get out. Well, there wasn't much people about that day, only a tall, thin chap with a pointed beard and a hooked nose. He had a hard, cold look and red eyes. It seemed as if it was him Bersiger was irritated at. Then that man came over, and blessed if he didn't put in his hand through the cage and stroke the old wolf's ears. Then he walks away, and old Bersiger keeps looking after him till he was out of sight. Well, last night, so soon as the moon was up, the wolves here all began howling. I took a look around. When I came to old Bersiger's cage, I see the bars broken and twisted about, and the cage empty.
Now, Mr. Builder, can you account in any way for the escape of the wolf?
Well, sir, I accounts for it in this way. It seems to me that the wolf escaped because he wanted to get out.
Mr. Builder, what do you think will happen now?
My opinion is this. That wolf's hiding somewhere. If he can't get food, he's bound to look for it. And maybe some nursemaid goes walking off and leaves infant in a perambulator and... ooh.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 17th of September.
I was in my study after dinner, when in rushed Renfield, with the dinner knife in his hand. He struck at me and cut my wrist severely. It bled freely, and a little pool trickled onto the carpet. Renfield fell onto his belly, and began licking up the blood which had fallen from my wounded wrist.
The blood is the life. The blood is the life.
18th of September. Just off to London, a telegram from Van Helsing urging me to return to Hillingham was misdirected and a whole night has been lost. Well, all may be well, of course, but what may have happened?
Lucy, darling, I was uneasy about you, so I came to see that you were all right.
Mother, you'll catch cold. Come here, into the bed with me. Hush. Lie quietly and sleep.
What is that? Oh, Lucy. Look. Look. A wolf. Oh. 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 Oh.
Mother. Help! Help!
What is it, miss?
Look, is Mrs. Westenra? Is she dead, Miss Lucy?
Yes. She's dead. Now come. Don't be frightened. There's nothing here now to be afraid of. It's all right. Just cover her with a sheet, please. There. Now you go into the dining room and help yourselves to some wine. Then you'll feel better.
Yes, miss.
Thank you, miss.
What am I to do? What am I to do? Those specks floating in the air. What are they? What do they mean? My dear mother gone. It is time that I go too. Goodbye, dear Arthur. If I should not survive this night, God keep you, dear, and God help me. Help me. Help me.
It is not yet too late. Bring the brandy, quick.
Here you are, Professor. Oh, my God, look at her throat. It's so dreadfully mangled.
Yes. You go wake those maids. They have been drugged, that is certain. You notice the smell of laudanum, my friend? Go, wake them. Flick them in the face with a wet towel. Flick them hard. Make them get heat and fire and warm water, quick. I can rub her with the brandy. All that can be at the present.
Wake up! Wake up! We need hot water in Miss Lucy's room at once! At once, do you hear?
Yes, sir.
This is a stand-up fight with death now, isn't it?
If that were all, I would stop here where we are now and let her fade away into peace, for I see no light in life over her horizon. Ah, good, the hot water. Now, we must chafe her limbs.
The heart is beating more strongly as she's breathing better.
Yes. The first gain is ours. Check to the king. What are we to do now? We must have another transfusion of blood, or the poor girl's life will not be worth an hour's purchase. But you and I, we are exhausted. And those serving women, no, they will not do. Now, where are we to turn for help? Oh, that we now had here but one.
What's the matter with me?
Quincy, what brought you here?
A telegram from Art. He begged me not to delay, and it seems to me I've come just in the nick of time. Now, tell me what to do.
Aha, a brave man's blood is the best thing on this earth when a woman is in trouble. Come, my brave man.
There's another thing. The certificate of death for Mrs. Westenra. You and I and the other doctor know that Mrs. Westenra had disease of the heart, and we can certify that she died of it. There must be no inquest, for that would surely kill poor Lucy.
Yes, you are right, my friend. We shall fill up the certificate at once, and you shall take it to the registrar. Now, we are finished here. Truly, Miss Lucy is at least happy in the friends that love her. 1, 2, 3, all open their veins for her. Besides one old man?
Yes. Jack knows that I love that girl and wanted to marry her. But what is it that's wrong with her? You and Professor Van Helsing here and I have given her blood, and I guess Art was in it too. That poor, pretty creature we all love has had put into her veins the blood of 4 strong men. Man alive, her whole body wouldn't hold it. What took it out?
Aha! That is the crux. Blood will have blood. Now, you shall know and understand it all in good time, but it will be later. Now, our friend must go and have a glass of wine and a good breakfast, and then lie down to rest after what he has so bravely done. But look, Miss Lucy is seeming stronger already, and she sleeps better now.
But her teeth, they look so much longer and so much sharper than usual. Why?
Do not trouble about it now. You must send telegram to her, Arthur. I think it best he comes quickly. The shock has been great for the poor child, and I cannot be sure what will happen now. We must be watching. Someone sit with her all the time. That is all that can be done now. God help us all.
Report from Patrick Hennessy, MD, MRCS, etc., to John Seward, MD, 20th of September.
The patient Renfield has had another outbreak. This afternoon a carrier's cart with 2 men made a call at the empty house whose grounds abut on ours. They had a load of heavy boxes to deliver, and they passed by the window of Renfield's room. The patient apparently broke out through his window.
You bastards! Cretins! Filthy louts! Shog off!
And you can shut up, you foul-mouthed beggar!
You shan't rob me! You shan't murder me by inches! I'll fight for my lord and master!
Quick! Put a straitjacket on him!
Lord bless you, sir. I pity you and the governor, having to live in the house with a wild beast like that.
I'm sorry about this. Perhaps a drink of something to restore you. And, this for your trouble.
You're a blooming good bloke, sir, you are.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 20th of September.
I have heard the flapping of the wings of the angel of death. First Lucy's mother, and now Arthur's father, both dead. I relieved Van Helsing in his watch over Lucy, and we sent Arthur to go to rest also. Lucy lay quite still, breathing heavily, and round her neck was the silk handkerchief which Van Helsing made her keep on. He had placed garlic everywhere. Lucy's teeth, in the uncertain light, seemed longer and sharper than they had been in the morning. I sat down by her, and presently she moved uneasily. At the same moment there came a sort of dull flapping or buffeting by the window. There was a full moonlight, and I could see that the noise was made by a great bat, which wheeled round and every now and again struck the window with its wings. When I came back to my seat, I found that Lucy had moved slightly, and had torn away the garlic flowers from her throat. I replaced them as well as I could, and sat watching her. At 6 o'clock, Van Helsing came to relieve me.
Draw up the blind. Give me some light. Oh, mein Gott!
Those marks that were on her throat, they're gone.
Yes, she is dying. It will not be long now. Wake that poor boy Arthur, and let him see the last.
Arthur, come, my dear fellow. Summon all your courage. It will be best and easiest for her.
Arthur, oh, my love, I'm so glad you have come. Kiss me.
No, no, not for your life. Not for your living soul and hers.
Dr. Van Helsing, my true friend, and his. Oh, guard him, and give him peace.
I swear it. Come, Arthur, take her hand in yours and kiss her on the forehead, and only once. Then go, kiss and part. It is all over. She is dead.
Poor girl. There is peace for her at last. It is the end.
Not so, alas, not so. It is only the beginning.
What do you mean?
We must wait and see. Now, friend John, I think we may to bed. Tomorrow we shall have much to do. I want you to bring me a set of post-mortem knives.
Must we make an autopsy?
Yes and no. I want to operate, but not as you think. I want to cut off her head and take out her heart.
Oh, my God, no.
You, a surgeon, and so shocked? Oh, but I must not forget, my dear friend John, that you loved her, and I have not forgotten it, for it is I that shall operate, and you must only help. I would like to do it tonight, but for Arthur I must not. He will be free after his father's funeral tomorrow, and he will want to see her, to see it. Then, when she is coffined ready for the next day, you and I shall come when all sleep. We shall unscrew the coffin lid, and shall do our operation.
But why do it at all? The girl is dead. Why mutilate her poor body without need?
Friend John, I pity your poor bleeding heart, and I love you the more because it does so bleed. But there are more things in heaven and earth that you know not, but that you shall know, and bless me for knowing, though they are not pleasant things. John, my child, you have been my friend now many years. I may err, I am but man, but I believe in all I do. Was it not for these causes that you sent for me when the great trouble came? Yes, were you not amazed when I would not let Arthur kiss his love, though she was dying, and snatched him away by all my strength? Yes, and yet you saw how she thanked me with her so beautiful dying eyes, her voice, too, so weak. And she kissed my rough old hand and blessed me. Yes, and did you not hear me swear promise to her, that so she closed her eyes grateful? Yes. Well, I have good reason now for all I want to do. Believe me yet a little, friend John. I work with heavy heart, and must not tell what I think. Will you not have faith in me?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Friend John, there are strange and terrible days before us. Let us two work to a good end.
He laid a handful of wild garlic around the bed, and then placed a little golden crucifix over the mouth. I must have slept long and soundly, for it was broad daylight when Van Helsing waked me.
You need not trouble about the knives. We shall not do it. It is too late, or it is too early. That crucifix I placed on her, it was stolen in the night by one of the serving women. But come, her Arthur is with her. Lord Godalming, we must call him now.
Oh, Jack, what shall I do? There is nothing in the wide world for me to live for. Jack, is she really dead?
Yes, you must say goodbye now.
But how beautiful she is. Can she really be dead?
I have to ask you a hard thing, but I hope that for Lucy's sake you will do it. I want you to give me permission to read all her letters and papers. I have a motive of which, be sure, she would have approved.
Dr. Van Helsing, you may do what you will.
From the Journal of Mina Harker, 22nd of September.
How things have changed. Now I am married to Jonathan. Mr. Hawkins is dead and buried, and Jonathan is rich and master of his business. But he's not recovered, and another attack may harm him. After the funeral of Mr. Hawkins, we came back to town. Walking down Piccadilly, Jonathan suddenly clutched my arm so tight that it hurt me.
My God! Do you see who it is?
You mean that man? With the big white teeth and the red lips? Who is it?
It's the man himself. I believe it is the Count, but he's grown so young. My God, if this be so! Oh, my God! If only I knew! If only I knew!
From Dr. Seward's diary, 22nd of September.
It is all over. Arthur has gone back to Ring, taking Quincy Morris with him. Van Helsing has been under terrible strain and crosses to Amsterdam tonight, but says he will return tomorrow night. And now we are all scattered, and for many a long day loneliness will sit over our roofs with brooding wings. Lucy lies in the tomb of her kin, a lordly death-house in a lonely churchyard away from teeming London, where the air is fresh and the sun rises over Hampstead Hill, and where wild flowers grow of their own accord.
From the Westminster Gazette, 25th of September. In Hampstead, during the past 2 or 3 days, several cases have occurred of young children straying from home or neglecting to return from playing on the heath. In all these cases, the children were too young to give any proper account of themselves, but the consensus of their excuses is that they had been with a bloofer lady. It has always been late in the evening when they have been missed, and on 2 occasions the children have not been found until early in the following morning. It's generally supposed in the neighbourhood that as the first child missed gave as his reason for being away that a bloofer lady had asked him to come for a walk, the others had picked up the phrase and used it as occasion served. There is, however, possibly a serious side to the question, for some of the children, indeed all who have been missed at night, have been slightly torn or wounded in the throat. The wounds seem such as might have been made by a rat or a small dog. From the Journal of Mina Harker, 24th of September.
Jonathan is better after a bad night. I'm so glad he has plenty of work to do, for that keeps his mind off the terrible things. Last night I read the dreadful record of his journey to Transylvania. I wonder whether it be true or any imagination following his brain fever. Poor dear. And yet that man we saw yesterday, he seemed quite certain about him. He believes that the dreadful Count has come to London. If it should be, and London, with its teeming millions. There may be a solemn duty, and if it come, we must not shrink from it. I shall be prepared. I shall get my typewriter this very hour and begin transcribing Jonathan's shorthand notes. Then they will be ready for other eyes if required.
Van Helsing to Mrs. Harker, 24th of September.
Dear Madam Mina, I pray you to pardon my rising, in that I am so far friend as that I send you sad news of Miss Lucy Westenra's death. Madam Mina, I implore you to help me. My old brain is troubled. There is much danger, but we may arm us to encounter it. I should come to Exeter to see you at once, if you tell me I am privileged to come, and where and when. Van Helsing.
Telegram from Mrs. Harker to Van Helsing, 25th of September.
Come today by 10:15 train, if can catch it. Can see you any time you call. Wilhelmina Harker.
Dr. Van Helsing, ma'am.
Mrs. Harker, is it not? That was Miss Mina Marais?
Yes. Oh, Dr. Van Helsing.
It is Mina Marais I come to see, that was friend of that poor dear child, Lucy Westenra. Madam Mina, it is on account of the dead I come.
Sir, you could have no better claim on me than that you were a friend and helper of Lucy Westenra.
I have read your letters to Miss Lucy. Forgive me, but I had to begin to inquire somewhere, and there was none to ask. I know how good you are, and how your husband suffer. I know also that you were with Miss Lucy at Whitby. I come to ask you, and ask you out of your so much kindness to tell me all of it that you remember.
I can tell you, I think, Dr. Van Helsing, all about it. Here I have typewritten out my journal. Read it over whilst I order lunch, and then you can ask questions while we eat.
Oh, you so clever woman. I long knew that Mr. Jonathan was a man of much thankfulness, but see, his wife have all the good things. Ah, yes. So.
Madam Mina, how can I say what I owe to you? This paper is a sunshine. I am dazzled with so much light. There are darknesses in life and there are lights. You are one of the lights. You will have happy life and good life, and your husband will be blessed in you. Now, tell me of your husband. Is he quite well? Is the fever gone?
Oh, Dr. Van Helsing, I've been so fearful for him. I wish you could make him well again. Last Thursday in London, he thought he saw someone who recalled something terrible. He was a tall, thin man with big teeth and red lips and a pale face. Dr. Van Helsing, what I have to tell you is so queer. You must not laugh at me or my husband.
Oh, my dear, trust me. I have learned not to think little of anyone's belief, no matter how strange it be, and I have tried to keep an open mind. You may tell me anything.
Thank you. Now, here is a copy of Jonathan's journal when he was abroad. It is long, but I've typewritten it out. Read it for yourself and judge, and then perhaps you will be very kind and tell me what you think.
Oh, yes, I promise. I shall, in the mornings, as soon as I can, come to see you and your husband, if I may. And now, Madam Mina, I thank you once more, and for this moment, I take my leave.
From Van Helsing to Mrs. Harker, 25th of September, evening.
Dear Madam Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. You may sleep without doubt. Strange and terrible as it is true. I will pledge my life on it. I am blessed that I come to see you, for I have learned all at once so much that again I am dazzled more than ever, and I must think. Yours, Abraham Van Helsing.
Jonathan, you see, the doctor thinks all you wrote down was true, all true, my dearest.
That is all I needed to know. It was that doubt as to whether it was all real or not that kept me so in the dark. Now I know. I am not afraid of the Count, even though he is in London and somehow has got younger.
Dr. Van Helsing.
Dr. Van Helsing. I'm so pleased to see you, sir.
Oh, but what is this? Madam Mina told me you were ill. Is it not so?
Yes, I was ill, but you have cured me already.
Huh?
Doctor, you don't know what it is to doubt everything, even yourself. I didn't know what to do. But your letter to Mina ends all that.
Sir, you will pardon praise from an old man, but you are blessed in your wife. And now, may I ask you for some more help? Can you tell me what went before your going to Transylvania?
Does what you have to do concern the Count?
It does.
Then I am with you, heart and soul. Here, take these documents and read them later. Now we will have breakfast, and then I shall take you to the station. And for your journey now, here are the newspapers.
Ah. My God! What is this here? So soon? Oh, my God! I must go, and quickly. This is very bad. A child discovered with tiny wound in throat speaks of Blue-furred lady. So soon, so soon. Have you seen this newspaper, friend John? Have you seen what it say in this Westminster Gazette here?
Children decoyed away at Hampstead, discovered with small punctured wounds on their throats. So?
Well, what do you think of that?
Well, it's like poor Lucy's.
Aha, and what do you make of that?
That there is some cause in common, perhaps. I don't know.
Oh, do you mean to tell me, friend John, that you have no suspicion as to what poor Lucy died of? Not after all the hints given? Not only by events, but by me?
Of nervous prostration following on great loss or waste of blood.
Aha, and how? The blood lost or waste, You are a clever man, friend John, but you are too prejudiced. You do not let your eyes see, nor your ears hear. There are always mysteries in life. Why was it that Methuselah lived 900 years, and yet that poor Lucy, with 4 men's blood in her poor veins, could not live even 1 day? For had she lived 1 more day, we could have saved her. Do you know? Can you tell me why in the Pampas, aye, and elsewhere, there are bats that come at night and open the veins of cattle and horses, and suck dry their veins? How in some islands of the western seas there are bats which hang on the trees all night, and then in the morning are found dead men, white, even as Miss Lucy was.
Good God, Professor, do you mean to tell me that Lucy was bitten by such a bat, and that such a thing is here in London in the 19th century?
You were my favourite pupil. Always it is worth to teach you. Now, I want you to believe in things you cannot. You take the first step to understand. We get a small truth first. You think that those so small holes in the children's throats were made by the same thing that made the hole in Miss Lucy?
I suppose so.
Aha, then you are wrong. Oh, would it were so. But alas, no. It is worse. Far, far worse.
In God's name, Professor Van Helsing, what do you mean?
They were made by Miss Lucy.
Dr. Van Helsing, are you mad?
Would I were. Oh, my friend, why, think you, did I go so far round to take so long to tell you so simple a thing? I wished to be gentle, for I know that you have loved that so sweet lady. But even yet I do not expect you to believe so sad a truth of Miss Lucy. Tonight I go to prove it. Dare you to come with me?
Yes, but where and how, in God's name?
First, we go to see that child in hospital. Dr. Vincent is friend of mine. He will let us see child, and we listen to what he say. And we learn.
A bite of some animal, perhaps a rat. I am inclined to think, though, that it was one of the bats which are so numerous round here. A young one may have got loose from the zoo, or one be bred there from a vampire. These things do happen, you know. Only 10 days ago a wolf got out and was, I believe, traced up in this direction. That was before this bloofer lady scare came along.
Thank you, Dr. Vincent. You have been helpful. We must go on our way.
And now where do we go?
We go to spend the night, you and I, in the churchyard where Lucy lies. This is the key that locked the tomb. I have it from the coffin man to give to Arthur.
What are you going to do?
To open the coffin. You shall see.
Oh, my
Now,
God.
Are you convinced?
It's empty. Lucy's body isn't there.
So, and how do you account for it not being there?
Perhaps a body snatcher has stolen it.
Well, we must have more proof. Now, come with me out into the churchyard, and we will watch what we see.
What's that? I see something moving. There, between those yew trees.
Quick, follow me. We may be in time. Yes, thank God.
Great heavens, it's a child. But who brought it here? Is it wounded?
No. See, there is no mark on the throat. Who brought it? Well, we shall see. The dawn is near. And look, a policeman makes his beat down that path. I'll leave the child for him to find. It will be safe, I promise you now. It is coming light. We go back to look at the coffin again.
But we know already that it's empty.
We shall see. Come.
My God, it's Lucy? Is this a juggle or what?
You are convinced now, friend John? See, these teeth, they are sharper than before. With these the little children can be bitten. She has been dead 1 week, and you can see the lips are red, the cheeks, they have bloom. Most people's in that time would not look so. Here is some dual life that is not as the common. She was bitten by the vampire when she was in trance, sleepwalking. Oh, you start. You do not know that, friend John, but you shall know it all later. And in trance could he best come to take more blood. In trance she died, and in trance she is undead too. So it is that she differ from all other. Usually when the undead sleep at home, their face show what they are. But this, so sweet that was when she not undead, she go back to the nothings of the common dead. There is no malign there, see, and so it make hard that I must kill her in her sleep.
But how will you do such bloody work?
I shall cut off her head and fill her mouth with garlic, and I shall drive a stake through her body. If I did simply follow my inclining, I would do now at this moment what is to be done. But there are other things to follow. She have yet no life taken, though that is but question of time. And then we may have to want Arthur, and how shall we tell him of this? He, poor fellow, must have 1 hour that will make the very face of heaven grow black to him. Then we can act for good all round and send him peace. But you, friend John, you who have now seen, you must help me persuade him to come here with us to the tomb again, when we cut off the head of Miss Lucy, so that she be undead no longer.
I am with you, Professor.
Good, good. Now, we have made a small progress. So, I fixed some things to seal the door of the tomb, so Miss Lucy shall not leave it tonight. Garlic and crucifix, they will prevent her coming out, so that on the morrow night she may be more eager. From Miss Lucy I have no fear, but that other, oh, he is cunning. He have fooled us when he played with us for Miss Lucy's life, and we lost. He have always in his hand the strength of 20 men. Then he can summon his wolf, and I know not what. But it may be that he will not attempt this place. Now, in case anything should happen to me, take all the papers, the diaries of Harker and the rest, read them, and then find this great undead, and cut off his head, and burn his heart or drive a stake through it, so that the world may rest from him. Do you promise this?
Yes, I promise.
That is good. Now, there is much to do. We must go to our friends Arthur and Quincy, and then we bring them here. There is much of labour and much of sorrow to come. But by God, we must do our duty to the dead. Now, friend John, you were here with me yesterday. Was the body of Miss Lucy in that coffin?
It was.
You hear, Lord Arthur, and yet you do not believe with me. Oh, I tell you, there are more things in heaven and earth. But look, I show you.
It's empty. Professor, is this your doing?
Oh, I swear to you, I have not removed nor touched her. My friend Stuart and I came here at night and found the coffin empty. We waited and saw something white come through the trees. Then becoming daytime, and she lay here. Then I came here before sundown, for at sundown the undead can move. But I saw nothing because I had laid garlic round those doors, which the undead cannot bear. Tonight before sundown I take away my garlic, and so it is we find this coffin empty. So far, much that is strange. But now you wait with me outside, and things much stranger are yet to be. Now, I close the tomb, so that the undead may not enter.
What is that you're using?
The host. I brought it from Amsterdam. I have an indulgence. Now we wait. In silence, please.
Look, there. You see?
My God. It's Lucy.
And you see, she has a child with her. And look carefully. Those lips crimson with fresh blood.
And those eyes. What in heaven's name has happened to her?
God have mercy.
Arthur, come to me. Arthur. Leave those others and come. My arms are hungry for you. Come, my husband. Come, and we can rest together.
Back! Back, I say, in the name of the Holy One. Now am I to proceed in my work? Answer me, my friends.
Do what you have to do. Do it! There can be no horror like this any more.
So, then we open a chink in the door of this tomb, just for her to pass through.
But how did she get through that crack? It's not big enough for a mouse, never mind a woman.
Ha ha, my friend, she's no longer a complete body like you and me, like Arthur and friend John here. Come, my friends, we can do no more till tomorrow. This little one here is not much harm, and by tomorrow he will be well. We leave him where police will find him as before, and then for us, home. My friend Arthur, you have had sore trial, but it was necessary. Tomorrow, please God, you will drink of the sweet waters. No longer mourn. Come. We return tomorrow to finish the work.
Is this really Lucy's body? Or only a demon in her shape?
It is her body, and yet not it. But wait a while, and you shall see her as she was and is. When one is become undead, there comes with the change the curse of immortality. They cannot die, but must go on age after age, adding new victims and multiplying the evils of the world. For all that die from the preying of the undead become themselves undead, and prey on their kind. It's like a circle in the water from a stone thrown in. But when now this undead be made to rest as true dead, if she die in truth, then all cease, and the soul of the poor lady we love shall be free, and she shall take her place with the other angels. So it is blessed hand for her that strike the blow that set her free. Who here has best right to do this thing that send her to the stars?
My true friend, tell me what I am to do.
A moment's courage, and it is done. This stake must be driven through her. It will be a fearful ordeal, but it will be only a short time. But you must not falter when once you have begun. We shall pray for you.
Go on. What am I to do?
Take this stake in left hand, ready to place the point over the heart, and the hammer in your right. Then, when we begin our prayer for the dead, strike in God's name, that the undead may pass away. Now, man that is born of a woman hath but a short time to live, and is full of misery. He cometh up, and is cut down like a flower. He fleeth as it were a shadow, and never continueth in one stay. In the midst of life we are in death. O God most mighty, O holy and merciful Saviour, thou most worthy judge, eternal, suffer us not at our last hour for any pains of death to fall from thee. Amen. Amen. So, it is over. And see, she is at peace. No longer she is the devil's undead. She is God's true dead, whose soul is with him.
God bless you, that you have given my dear one her soul again, and me peace.
And now you may kiss her for last time, for she is not any more foul thing. Now, Arthur, you and Quincy must leave us, for we have still more work to do. Now, friend Tron, you and I must cut off the head and fill the mouth with garlic. Then it is done. But there remains a greater task, to find out the author of all this sorrow and stamp him out. There begins our great quest. There is danger, but we must not draw back.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 29th of September.
Mrs. Mina Harker has come to join us, and she has started already with her typewriter to put on paper what is recorded in my phonograph diary. I was deep in study of the wonderful diary of Jonathan Harker and that of his wife when she came into the room.
You helped to attend Lucy at the end. Now I know from your machine the terrible story of her death. I rejoice that she is at last at peace. You've been so good.
30th of September. Mr. Harker arrived at 9 o'clock. He has been to Whitby, and now he and his wife are busy knitting together in chronological order every scrap of evidence we have. I wonder what they can make out of this whole strange story. It never struck me that the very next house might be the Count's hiding place, though goodness knows we had enough clues from the conduct of the patient Renfield. All his outbreaks were in some way linked with the proximity of the Count. And now Renfield is placid and content. What does that mean? Can it be that he believes in the vampire's ultimate triumph? Oh, we must work together, all of us, to prevent such a terrible thing. God help us.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 29th of September.
I have been to Whitby in an attempt to trace that horrid cargo of Count Dracula's to its place in London. Mr. Billington had ready in his office all the papers concerning the consignment of boxes. I saw the invoice. 50 cases of common earth, to be used for experimental purposes. Then I saw the men who had actually received the boxes.
Them boxes were main and mortal heavy. I can tell you that shifting them was dry work.
Then to Carter Patterson's central office in London, where I found the men who had delivered the boxes to Carfax.
That ass, Governor, ain't been touched in 100 years, the dust was that thick.
And that old chapel, I wouldn't take less nor £1 a minute to stay there after dark.
I am now satisfied that all the boxes which arrived at Whitby from Varna in the Demeter were safely deposited in the old chapel of Carfax. There should be 50 of them there, unless Dr. Seward is correct in his suspicion that some have since been removed.
From the Journal of Mina Harker, 30th of September.
Jonathan has never been so resolute, never so strong, never so full of energy as he is at present. I feel myself quite wild with excitement. I suppose one ought to pity anything as hunted as the Count. But he's not human or even a beast. Lord Godalming and Mr. Morris arrived. I gave them copies of all the papers and diaries I had typewritten. Lord Godalming was evidently distressed by the painful recollections of what had passed.
I know you loved my poor Lucy, and you people are all so good and kind. All I can do now is to try and help you.
Later in the day, Dr. Seward allowed me to see his patient, Mr. Renfield. When we came to his room, he was busy swallowing flies and spiders that he had in boxes.
You're not the girl the doctor wanted to marry, are you? No, you can't be, for she's dead.
Oh, no, I have a husband of my own, to whom I was married before I ever met Dr. Seward. I am Mrs. Harker.
What are you doing here?
My husband and I are visiting Dr. Seward.
And don't stay. Our doctor here is loved by his friends and by his patients. But he can tell you that on one occasion I actually tried to kill him to strengthen my vital powers by the assimilation of his blood. Relying, of course, upon the scriptural phrase, "The blood is the life." Do not stay here, Mrs. Harker.
I have to go to the station to meet Dr. Van Helsing. It is time we should leave.
Goodbye, Mr. Renfield, and I hope I may see you again in circumstances more pleasant to yourself.
Goodbye, my dear. I pray God I may never see your sweet face again. May He bless and keep you.
After dinner, we met in Dr. Seward's study. All of us have read all the papers which Jonathan and I had put in order up to the present moment. And now we must arrange our plan of battle with this terrible and mysterious foe. Dr. Van Helsing presided over our little committee.
We are all acquainted, I think, with the facts that are in these papers.
Certainly.
Now, had I known at the first what now I know, had I known that the Count Dracula had purchased the house, the very next one to my friend John, then we might have reached him in time to save poor Lucy. However, we shall not think of that now, my good friends, but go on our way to the end. I must tell you something of the kind of enemy with which we have to deal. Then we can take our measures according. There are such beings as vampires. There is evidence that they exist. Oh, to speak of horrors, this vampire which is amongst us is of himself so strong in person as 20 men. He is of cunning more than mortal. For his cunning be the growth of ages. He hath still the aids of necromancy, and all the dead that he can come nigh to are for him at command. He is devil in callous, and the heart of him is not. He can, within limitations, appear at will, when and where, and in any of the forms that are to him. He can, within his range, direct the elements, the storm, the fog, the thunder. He can command all the meaner things, the rat and the owl and the bat, the moth and the fox and the wolf. He can grow and become small, and he can at times vanish and come unknown. How, then, are we to begin our strife to destroy him? How shall we find his where? And having found it, how can we destroy? My friends, this is much. It is a terrible task that we undertake, for if we fail in this our fight, he must surely win. And then where end we? It is that we become as him, that we henceforward become foul things of the night like him, without heart or conscience, preying on the bodies and the souls of those we love best. But we must do good against evil.
I'm with you for Lucy's sake, if for no other reason.
Count me in, Professor.
I answer for Mina and myself. We are with you.
Well, you know what we have to contend against. But we are not without strength. The vampire can only flourish when he fatten on the blood of the living. He throws no shadow. He does not reflect in glass. He can change into wolf, into bat, into dust in moonlight. He can come in mist, which he create. He can do all these things. But he is prisoner. His power ceases, as does that of all evil things, at coming of day. There are things which afflict him, as the garlic and the crucifix. Thus, when we find the habitation of this man that was, we can confine him to his coffin and destroy him, if we obey what we know. We know from inquiry of Jonathan that there came from his castle to Whitby 50 boxes of earth. These we must trace and capture or kill this monster in his lair, or sterilize the earth, so he can seek safety in it no more. Come, my friends, we have work to do. We must take the current when it serves.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 1st of October, 4 a.m.
An urgent message was brought to me from Renfield, asking that I would see him at once.
I've never seen him so eager, sir. If you don't see him soon, he'll have one of his violent fits.
All right, I'll come now. Now, what is it you want with me at this time of the morning?
I want you to release me from this asylum and send me home.
That is impossible.
Let me entreat you, Dr. Seward, or let me implore you to let me out of this house at once. Send me away how you will and where you will. Send keepers with me, with whips and chains. Let them take me in a strait waistcoat, manacled and leg-ironed, even to a jail, but let me go out of this. You don't know what you're doing by keeping me here. I'm speaking from the depths of my heart. For the sake of the Almighty, take me out of this and save my soul from guilt. Can't you hear me, man? Can't you understand? Will you never learn? Do you know that I am sane and earnest now, that I am no lunatic in a mad fit, but a sane man fighting for his soul? Oh, hear me. Let me go. Let me go.
Come, no more of this. Get to your bed and try to behave more discreetly.
You will, I trust, Dr. Seward. Do me the justice to bear in mind later on that I did what I could to convince you tonight.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 1st of October.
At 5 a.m. the search party set out. Mina has consented to hold back and let us men do the work. There were 5 of us. Myself, Quincy Morris, Jack Seward, Arthur and Van Helsing.
My friends, we are going into a terrible danger, and we need arms of many kinds. Our enemy is not merely spiritual. Remember that he has the strength of 20 men, and that though our necks or our windpipes are of the common kind, and therefore breakable or crushable, his is not amenable to mere strength. We must therefore guard ourselves from his touch. Keep this silver crucifix near your heart, and put these flowers round your neck. Now, where are the skeleton keys, so that we can open the door and not break house by the window?
The whole place was thick with dust, and I could not get away from the feeling that there was someone else amongst us. There was an odour which seemed to be composed of all the ills of mortality, and had the pungent, acrid smell of blood. Every breath exhaled by that monster seemed to have clung to the place and intensified its loathsomeness.
The first thing is to see how many boxes are left, and then see if we cannot get some clue as to what has happened to the rest.
One glance was sufficient to show how many remained. Only 29 left out of the 50. We could see where the dust had been disturbed and the boxes taken out. For an instant my heart stood still, for I seemed to see somewhere, looking out of the shadow, the highlights of the Count's evil face, the red eyes, the red lips, the awful pallor. Some nervousness was growing on us, and we saw a whole mass of phosphorescence which twinkled like stars. We all instinctively drew back. The whole place was becoming alive with rats. Lord Godalming was apparently prepared for such an emergency, for he drew a little silver whistle from his pocket and blew a shrill call. It was answered immediately by the barking of dogs. 3 terriers appeared, and the rats fled before them so fast that in minutes the whole mass had vanished. With their going, it seemed as if some evil presence had departed.
Well, my friends, so far our night has been eminently successful. No harm has come to us such as I feared might be, and we have ascertained how many boxes are missing. One lesson, too, we have learned, that the brute beasts which are to the Count's command are yet themselves not amenable to his spiritual power. Those rats that would come to his call like the wolves at his castle, though they come to him when my friend Arthur let slip the dogs of war, they run pell-mell. Now, let us go home. The dawn is close at hand.
When I got home, I found Mina asleep, breathing so softly and looking paler than usual. From the distance came a low moaning sound from Renfield's room. Poor wretch. I slept till the sun was high, but even so, I was awake before Mina, and had to call her 2 or 3 times before she awoke. She had a look of one who has come out of a bad dream, and complained of being tired, so I let her rest till later in the day.
From the Journal of Mina Harker, 1st of October.
Last night I went to bed when the men had gone, simply because they told me to. I didn't feel sleepy. I felt full of devouring anxiety. I kept thinking over everything that has been ever since Jonathan came to see me in London, and it all seems like a horrible tragedy, with fate pressing on relentlessly to some destined end. If I hadn't gone to Whitby, perhaps poor dear Lucy would be with us now. I can't remember how I fell asleep last night. I remember hearing the sudden barking of dogs and a lot of strange sounds, like praying on a tumultuous scale. The sounds came from Mr. Renfield's room, which is somewhere below me. And then there was silence over everything. Silence so profound. It startled me. I got up and looked out of the window. There was a mist spreading and lying thick against the walls of the house. The air was heavy and dank and cold. The mist grew thicker and thicker and came pouring in through the joinings of the door. It seemed as if it became concentrated into a sort of pillar of cloud in the room, through the top of which I could see the light of the gas shining like a red eye. Things began to whirl through my brain, like the cloudy column was whirling in the room, and through it all the scriptural words, a pillar of cloud by day and a fire by night. But the pillar was composed of both the day and the night. The fire divided and seemed to shine on me through the fog like two red eyes, like Lucy described on the cliff when the dying sunlight struck the windows of St. Mary's Church. Suddenly the horror burst upon me that it was thus that Jonathan had seen those awful women growing into reality, and in my dream I must have fainted, for all became darkness. The last conscious effort which imagination made was to show me a livid white face bending over me out of the mist. Oh, I must be careful of such dreams. Oh, they would unseat one's reason if there were too much of them.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 2nd of October.
I left Mina fast asleep, looking a little too pale. The doctors were quite right to insist on her being kept out of this dreadful business. I drove to Walworth and found Mr. Joseph Smollett at home.
Yes, Governor, I remember them boxes. 6 in the cartload what I took from Carfax and left at Mile End, and another 6 to Bermondsey. As for the rest, I reckon Sam Bloxham could tell you summit.
I tracked down this Mr. Bloxham to Potter's Court in Walworth.
Yeah, that's right. I made 2 journeys from Carfax to a house in Piccadilly with 9 heavy boxes. Oh, they was a load.
Can you tell me the number of the house in Piccadilly?
Well, Governor, I forgets the number, but it was a few doors from a big white church. You'll find it easy enough. It's a tall house with a stone front, with high steps up to the door. At the old party what engaged me helped me carry them boxes up the steps. He was the strongest chap I ever seen, but he was so thin you'd think he couldn't throw a shadow.
I found the house easily enough, and then the house agents who had sold the property, Mitchell, Sons and Candy.
The purchaser of number 347 Piccadilly was a foreign nobleman, a Count de Ville, who effected the purchase himself, paying the money in notes over the counter.
So, we are on the track of the missing boxes. But we must find them all. And then we can hunt the wretch to his real death.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 2nd of October.
I am puzzled afresh about Renfield. His moods change so rapidly. I asked him about the flies he's been keeping.
The fly has one striking feature, sir. Its wings are typical of the aerial powers of the psychic faculties. The ancients did well when they typified the soul as a butterfly.
Oh? It's a soul you're after now, is it?
Oh, no. I want no souls. I couldn't use them if I had them. I couldn't eat them all.
Well, what about flies or spiders?
What's the use of spiders? There isn't anything in them to eat or... Why do you plague me about these things? I want life, but without the burden of souls. I have enough worry and pain already.
Later, I went round to Van Helsing and told him my suspicions about Renfield. He will not mention drinking and looks to acquire some higher life. I am afraid the Count has been to him, and there is some new scheme of terror afoot. There is no time to lose. We must sterilize all the imported earth between sunrise and sunset, when the Count is at his weakest. I wonder about Renfield. Perhaps the coming destruction of the Count may be carried to him in some subtle way. He is now seemingly quiet for a spell. Is he? Oh, that was from his room.
Doctor, quickly, Renfield. He's had an accident. He's on the floor, all covered in blood. I think his back's broken.
Dr. Van Helsing, come with me, please. That will do, Simmons. Get back to your round. Dr. Van Helsing and I will see to him.
Yes, there is a fracture of a skull, and the hemorrhage is increasing.
Doctor, I'm dying. I know. I feel I have but a few minutes, and there is something I must say before I die.
Go on.
He began by promising me things, not in words, but by doing them. He used to send in his flies when the sun was shining, and big moths in the night with skull and crossbones on their back. Then rats, thousands of them, and dogs to eat them, and cats, too, all lives. All red blood with years of life in it. So I let him come in through the window, through the tiniest crack. Would you wet my lips with some brandy, please?
The brandy, quick! Now, let him go on. No, do not interrupt. He may lose the thread.
When he was there, I thought that somehow Mrs. Harker had come into the room. When I saw Mrs. Harker later, she wasn't the same. It was like tea after the teapot had been watered. I don't care for pale people. I like them with lots of blood in them. And hers all seemed to have run out.
My God, what is he saying?
I didn't think of it at the time, but then I realized, and it made me mad to know that he'd been taking the life out of her. So tonight I was ready for him, and I grabbed him tight. But then I saw his eyes. They burned into me, and my strength became like water. He flung me down and slipped away under the door. I could not hold him. I couldn't not.
Well, we know the worst now. He is here, and we know his purpose. Alas, that dear Merimina should suffer. Now, quickly, we must rouse Arthur and Quincy. Arm ourselves as before with the crucifixes. But let us lose no time. It may not be too late.
Silence. If you make a sound, I shall take your sleeping husband here and dash his brains out before your very eyes. Now, a little refreshment to reward my exertions.
No. No.
You may as well be quiet. It is not the first time or the second that your veins have appeased my thirst. Now, you are to be blood of my blood, kin of my kin, my bountiful wine-press for a while. Later you shall be my companion and my helper. Those men who love you best, they shall know what it is to cross my path. I have commanded nations and fought for them against the Turk over the great river, hundreds of years before they were born. They shall know what it is to try and hunt the great Dracula. They shall be punished, as you are to be punished for what you have done. You shall cross land or sea to do my bidding. Now come. Put your mouth to my breast. Here. Here, where my blood now flows. Drink. Drink.
Oh, God. Pity me.
Mina! Mina! Ah, it is the Count!
Yes, it is Dracula!
Be not afraid, my friends. Hold high your crucifixes. He has no power against them. Back, back, I say. look to the lady. Her husband is in a stupor such as we know the vampire can produce. I must wake him. Arthur, please bring brandy. Quincy, go with him. Jonathan, wake up. Wake up!
Dr. Van Helsing, what is it? What's wrong? Mina? Mina? What does this blood mean? My God, has it come to this? Dr. Van Helsing, you love Mina, I know. Do something to save her. It cannot have gone too far yet. Guard her while I go and look for him.
No, Jonathan, you must not leave me. Stay with me, stay with these friends who will watch over you.
Do not fear, my dear. We are here. And whilst this crucifix is close to you, no foul thing can approach. You are safe for tonight. We must be calm and take counsel together.
Unclean. I am unclean. I must not touch Jonathan, my husband, or kiss him any more.
Nonsense, Mina. Nothing will ever come between us.
The manuscripts. All our papers have been burned. He's been there and burned everything.
Thank God there are still copies in the safe.
And Wenfield. He's dead, poor fellow.
And you, friend Quincy, you have something to tell?
I tried to see where the Count would go when he left the house. I did not see him, but I saw a bat rise from Renfield's window and flap westward. I expected to see him in some shape go back to Carfax, but he evidently sought some other lair. He will not be back tonight, for the sky is reddening in the east, and the dawn is close. We must work tomorrow. From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 3rd of October.
I must do something, or go mad. I dare not stop to think about what has happened to poor, dear Mina. It is too horrible.
If I find in myself, and I shall watch keenly for it, if I find a sign that I may do harm to any that I love, I shall die.
But you would not kill yourself.
Yes, Dr. Van Helsing, I would, if there were no friend who loved me who would save me such a pain.
Oh, my child, you must not die, not by any hand, but least of all by your own, until the other who has fouled your sweet life is true dead. You must not die. To die and go we know not where. If he is still with the undead, your death would make you even as he is. No, you must struggle and strive to live till this great evil be past.
Very well, I promise you, my dear friend, that if God will let me live, I shall strive to do so till this horror pass away from me.
Ah, so good a lady that no tongue could ever pronounce dishonour of her. Today, then, is ours, and in it rests our hope. The Count, in all probability, does not know a power exists to us as can sterilize his lairs. Now we have discovered the disposition of the boxes. It may be that when we have been to the house in Piccadilly, we can track the very last of them. Until the sun sets tonight, the monster must retain whatever form he now has. So we have this day to hunt out all his lairs and sterilize them. So we drive him to bay in some place where the catching and destroying shall be sure. We go and search the house in Piccadilly and find out all his secrets. First, we go to Carfax and then to Piccadilly.
Then in God's name, let us go at once. We're losing time.
Madam Mina, to be sure you are safe and we are gone, I have prepared your chamber by the placing of things of which we know, so that he may not enter. Now, let me guard yourself. On your forehead I touch these peas of sacred wafer in the name of the...
Oh, my poor darling. Look, it has burned the flesh as though it were a piece of white-hot metal.
Unclean. Unclean. Oh, I must bear this mark of shame on my forehead till the judgment day.
It may be you have to bear that mark till God himself see fit, as he most surely shall on the judgment day, to redress all the wrongs of the earth, and of his children on it. And, my dear Madam Mina, may we who love you be there to see when that red scar, the sign of God's knowledge of what has been, shall pass away, and leave your forehead as pure as the heart we know. We all pray for you, and you pray for us, for help and guidance in this terrible task which lies before us.
At Carfax, the great boxes looked just as we had seen them last. The professor knew exactly what to do. The earth was sterilized and the lid screwed on again, so that to all appearance we left them as we had found them. Then to Piccadilly. Lord Godalming and Quincy Morris found a locksmith, and with a plausible tale of lost keys, they persuaded him to pick the lock and let us in. As the professor so wisely remarked, this was better than breaking and entering.
If things are rightly done, no one will interfere. I have read of a gentleman who owned a so fine house in your London, and when he went for months of summer to Switzerland and lock up his house, some burglar came and broke window and back and got in. Then he went and made open the shutters in front and walk out and in through the door before the very eyes of the police. And then he have an auction in that house and advertise it and put up big notice. And when the day come, he sell off by a great auctioneer all the goods of that other man who owned them. Then he go to a builder and he sell him that house, making an agreement that he pull it down and take all away within a certain time. And your police and other authority, they help him what they can. And when that owner come back from his holiday in Switzerland, he find only an empty hole where his house had been. This was all done en règle. And in our work, we shall be en règle too.
There you are, Governor. That was an easy one, that.
That's for your pains. And thank you, my good man.
Thank you, Governor.
Now let us get on with what we have to do.
Oh, the place smells vile.
Here are the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is all. 8 boxes only out of the 9 we seek. Our work is not over till we find that missing box.
Here, these are the papers, I think. Yes. Title deeds to this house and... Wait. Yes. Deeds of the purchase of houses at Mile End and Bermondsey. And the keys are with them, too.
Good, good. Now, Lord Godalming and Quincy Morris will go quickly to those other houses and destroy the boxes there. God go with you. I will wait here with my good friends John and Jonathan, and we see what may happen. Friends Arthur and Quincy, pray God you have done well.
It's all right. We found both places. 6 boxes in each, and we destroyed them all. But we must start off soon, for it won't do to leave Mrs. Harker alone after sunset.
But I don't understand why or how he was able to get to Mina.
You do not see how this monster has made use of the zoophagous patient Renfield to effect entry into friend Tron's house. Your vampire, though afterwards he can come when and how he will, must at the first make entry only when asked by an inmate. But quiet, he is here. Have all your arms. Be ready.
Now, you devil, now we have you trapped! You think to baffle me? You with your pale faces all in a row like sheep in a butcher's. You shall be sorry yet, each one of you. You think you have left me without a place to rest. But I have more. My revenge has just begun. I spread it over centuries, and time is on my side. Your girls that you all love are mine already, and through them you and others shall be mine. My creatures, to do my bidding and to be my jackals when I want to be fed.
Wait, my friends. We have scotched the snake, but it's not over. Though we have brave words, he fears us. We need not despair. There is but one more earth box, and when we find that, all may yet be well. We can do no more here, so let us get back to poor dear Madam Mina. We can at least protect her.
May God give him into my hand. just long enough to destroy that earthly life of him which we are aiming at. If beyond it I could send his soul for ever and ever to burning hell, I would do it.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 4th of October.
Mina has been sleeping, and sleeping without dreams, thank God. If ever there was a woman who was all perfection, that one is my poor, wronged darling. Surely God will not permit the world to be the poorer by the loss of such a creature. That is hope to me. We are all drifting reefwards, and faith is our only anchor. One earth box remaining, but the Count alone knows where it is. If he chooses to lie hidden, he may baffle us for years, and in the meantime, the thought is too horrible.
Jonathan? Oh, Jonathan.
Yes, my darling, it's all right. I'm here.
Where is the Professor?
Keeping watch in the corridor outside our room.
Go and call him. I want to see him at once.
Professor? Professor, Mina wants to see you.
Ah, my dear Madam Mina, what am I to do for you at this hour?
I want you to hypnotize me. The idea must have come to me in the night without my knowing it. I want you to hypnotize me before the dawn, for I feel that then I can speak and speak freely. Be quick, for time is short.
Very well, very well. Now, sit up in bed and watch my hand. Relax and watch my hand. So. Now, where are you?
I do not know. It's all strange to me.
What do you see?
Nothing. It's all dark.
What do you hear?
The lapping of water. I can hear little waves outside.
Then you are on a ship,
Oh, yes.
What else do you hear?
The sound of men stamping overhead as they run about. There's a creaking of a chain and a loud tinkle as the check of the capstan falls into the ratchet.
What are you doing?
I'm still. Oh, so still. It's like death.
Yes, now the sun has come up. Madam Mina, wake up. Open your eyes. See, it is light. Lie back now and rest.
Have I been talking in my sleep?
You have told us about a ship. That is where he is, I'm sure. You can see into his mind.
On a ship? Then there's no time to lose. Quickly, do something before it's too late, I beg you. Jonathan!
Stay, my friend. That ship, wherever it was weighing anchor whilst she spoke. There are many ships weighing anchor at the moment in your so great port of London. Which of them is it that you seek? God be thanked that we have once again a clue, though whither it may lead us, we know not. We can know now what was in the Count's mind when Jonathan's so fierce knife put him in the danger that even he dread. He meant escape. Hear me, escape. He saw that with but one earth box left, and a pick of men following him like dogs after a fox, this London was no place for him. He had take his last earth box on board a ship, and he leave the land. He thinks to escape, but no, we follow him. Tally-ho! As friend Arthur would say when he put on his red frock. Our old fox is wily, oh, so wily, and we must follow him with wile. I, too, am wily, and I think his mind very soon now. You know, to wake a wolf is as bad as to smell a fox. Now more than ever we must find him, even if we have to follow him to the jaws of hell.
Why?
Because he can live for centuries, and you are but mortal woman. Time is now to be dreaded, since once he put that mark on your throat.
Oh.
Mina?
Jonathan, You are to stay with your dear Madam Mina. He, our enemy, have gone away. He have gone back to his castle in Transylvania. He prepared for this, and his last earth box was ready to ship somewheres. He know his game here finish. Oh, he is clever. So he decide to go back home. Now, this battle is but begun. To get back, he must go by Danube mouth or by Black Sea. So, we make our search for ships going that way. Be of comfort till we return.
From the Journal of Mina Harker, 5th of October.
The certainty that the Count is out of the country gives me comfort. But there is yet the terrible mark on my forehead to remind me that he lives still. This afternoon, Dr. Van Helsing and the others came back from their search.
My dear Madam Mina, our enemy is indeed on the sea. We go to your loys, where there are note of all ships that sail, however so small. We find only one Black Sea-bound ship go out with the tide. She is the Tsarina Catherine, and she sailed from Doolittle's Wharf for Varna. So there we go quick, and hear of men in black, with burning eyes, who come with big box on cart, and pay Captain Well to take box on board. When the Tsarina Catherine sail, there is fog around it, and no sign of thin men anywhere. So they tell us. But we know he is there on sea, with fog at his command, and the box we seek is to be landed at Varna. It is there we must go, overland, to pursue the Count. The ship will take long, but we can travel quick and be there before it.
But is it really necessary to pursue the Count now?
Yes, it is necessary, for your sake in the first, and then for the sake of humanity. He have inflicted you in such wise that death shall make you like to him. With his brain, which have been growing for centuries, what more may he not do? This must not be. In the name of God, we must stop this monster that is of the devil.
Then promise me one thing. Promise that you will not tell me anything of the plans you make against the Count, so long as this scar is on me here. If I can tell, when Dr. Van Helsing hypnotizes me, what the Count is seeing and hearing, is it not possible that he should enter my mind and discover what I know? Oh, so promise me you will tell me nothing.
We promise, sir.
And you must take me with you. I am safer with you, and since you can hypnotize me, I can tell you things which may be of service.
Madam Mina, you are, as always, most wise. You shall with us come, and together we shall do that which we go forth to achieve. Come, my friends, the game's afoot.
When I see the box, I shall open it and destroy the monster, though there were 1,000 men looking on, and I to be wiped out for it the next moment.
Brave boy. Quincy is all man. God bless him for it. Believe me, none of us shall lag behind you.
From the Journal of Dr. Seward, 11th of October.
We have come to understand that sunrise and sunset are to Mrs. Harker times of peculiar freedom, when her old self can be manifested without the influence of any controlling force. But tonight, when we met, she was somewhat constrained, and bore all the signs of an internal struggle. I asked Dr. Van Helsing what he thought this might mean.
Our poor dear Madam Mina is changing. With the sad experience of Miss Lucy, we must this time be warned before things go too far. And I can see the characteristics of the vampire coming in her face. Her teeth are some sharper, and at times her eyes are more hard. Oh, John, my friend, we are in awful straits. I fear as I never feared before. We can only trust the good God. But silence, here she comes, and Jonathan too.
My dear, dear friends, Professor Van Helsing, Dr. Seward, Quincy, Arthur. We are all here together in freedom, for perhaps the last time. In the morning we go out on our task, and God alone knows what may be in store for any of us. I know that you will do everything that brave men can do for a poor, weak woman, whose soul perhaps is lost.
Dear Mina, don't say that.
Well, no, perhaps not lost yet. But you know as well as I do that my soul is at stake. There is a poison in my blood, in my soul, which may destroy me, unless some relief comes to us. I know that each of you will give your lives if necessary. Your lives are God's, and you can give them back to him. But you must remember that I am not as you are. What will you give me?
Mina, what do you mean?
You must promise me, one and all, even you, my beloved husband, that should the time come, you will kill me.
What is that time?
When you shall be convinced that I am so changed that it is better that I die, that I may live. When I am thus dead in the flesh, then you will, without a moment's delay, drive a stake through me and cut off my head, and do whatever else may be wanting to give me rest.
I swear to you, by all I hold sacred and dear, that should that time ever come, I shall not flinch from the duty you have set us. I promise that I shall make all certain.
Quincy, my true friend.
I swear the same, my dear Madam Mina.
And so do I.
And I too. And must I make such a promise too, my dear wife?
You too, my dearest. You are nearest and dearest, and all the world to me. Our souls are knit into one for all life and all time.
Come, swear.
You have my promise, my dearest.
And if it is to be that I must meet death, let it be at the hand of him that loves me best. Dr. Van Helsing, I have not forgotten your mercy in poor Lucy's case, to him who had the best right to give her peace. If that time come, I look to you to make it the happy memory of my husband's life, that it was his loving hand which set me free.
Again, I swear.
And now a word of warning, which you must never forget. If that time come, then you must act quickly, for at such a time remember that I myself shall be leagued with your enemy against you.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 15th of October, Varna.
We got here about 5 o'clock by the Orient Express from Paris, travelling night and day. Lord Godalming has gone to the consulate to see if there is any telegram for him with news of the whereabouts of the ship, the Tsarina Catherine. Thank God Mina is well, and looks to be getting stronger. Before sunrise and sunset, she is very wakeful and alert, and it has become a habit for Van Helsing to hypnotize her at these times. The questions and answers are always the same.
What can you see?
Nothing. All is dark.
What can you hear?
The waves lapping against the ship, and the water rushing by.
Telegram from Rufus Smith, Lloyd's, London, to Lord Godalming, care of Her Britannic Majesty's Vice-Consul, Varna, 24th of October. Tsarina Catherine reported this morning from the Dardanelles. From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 27th of October.
Most strange. 3 days and no news of the ship we wait for. She ought to be here by now. She may be lying by at times for fog, where some of the local steamers have reported patches of fog both to the north and south of the port. But she is still journeying somewhere, we know, for Mrs. Harker's hypnotic reports at sunrise and sunset are still the same.
Lapping waves and rushing water. But the waves are very faint.
Telegram from Rufus Smith, London, to Lord Godalming, Varna, 28th of October. Tsarina Catherine reported entering Galatz at 1 o'clock today.
Galatz? Oh, unsavoury news. But how may he escape? When does the next train start for Galatz?
At 6:30 tomorrow morning.
How on earth do you know that?
You forget that I'm a train fiend, and I always make a study of timetables. I knew that if we had to go to the Castle Dracula, we should go by Galatz. So I learned the train times very carefully.
Wonderful woman you are, dear Madam Mina. Now, the Count sent his spirit to read your mind, and he learned that we are here, so he make his most effort to escape us. At present, he want not Madam Mina. He is sure she will come at his call, so for now he cut her off, out of his own power, you see. But he is criminal, and therefore he has not full man-brain. He flee over the sea to his home, as he flee many, many years ago over the Danube from Turkey land, leaving his men to be cut to pieces. He be of child brain in much.
Yes, now he's intent on being safe, careless of all. So his own selfishness frees my soul somewhat of that terrible power he acquired over me on that dreadful night. Oh, thank God.
He has used your mind, and by it left us here in Varna, while his ship rushed through the fog to Galatz. He think he is free from us, and cut himself off from knowing your mind. So he think there can be no knowledge of him to you. There is where he fail. That terrible baptism of blood he gives you makes you free to go to him in spirit when the sun rise and set. At such times you go by my volition, not his. This he know not, and to guard himself have even cut himself off from knowledge of our where. But we can follow him, and we shall not flinch.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 28th of October, Varna.
Well, there was nothing for us to do but wait, with what patience we could muster, to resume our pursuit of Count Dracula by the morning train to Graz. This evening, before sunset as usual, Mrs. Harker prepared herself for her hypnotic effort. This time it required much longer and more strenuous effort by Professor Van Helsing before she sank into the trance.
What can you see? What can you hear? Answer me.
I can see nothing. We are still. There are no waves lapping, but only a steady swirl of water softly running against the hawser. I can hear men's voices calling near and far, and the roll and creak of oars in the rowlocks. There's a gleam of light somewhere.
Yes? What else? What else, Madam Mina?
Would none of you like a cup of tea? You must be tired. I'll go and see to it.
You see, my friends, he is close to land. He has left his earth chest, but he has yet to get on shore. In the night he may lie hidden somewhere, but if he is not carried on shore, or if the ship do not touch it, he cannot achieve the land. In such case he can, if it be the night, change his form and can jump or fly on shore, as he did at Whitby. But if he escape not at night, we shall come on him in daytime, boxed up, and at our mercy. The day will end, and then the end is known.
29th of October. This morning the hypnotic stage was longer than before in coming, and the time for Mrs. Harker to answer so short.
All is dark. I hear lapping water, level with me, and the creaking as of wood on wood.
So, now we are travelling towards Galatz in an agony of expectation. Already we are 3 hours late. The hypnotic reports by Mrs. Harker become more and more enigmatical. 30th of October. We have reached Galatz, where our rooms had been ordered by telegraph. Knowing of the difficulty of procuring the hypnotic trance, Van Helsing began earlier than usual. But Mrs. Harker yielded with still greater difficulty only a minute before the sun rose.
What do you see? What do you hear? Quick, tell me now.
All is dark. Something is going out. I feel it pass me like a cold wind. Far off I can hear men talking in strange tongues, falling water, the howling of wolves. There's water swirling by level with my ears, and the creaking of wood on wood. There's another sound, a queer one, like...
Go on, speak, I command you.
Oh, Professor, why do you ask me to do what you know? I can't remember anything. I know nothing.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 30th of October, Galatz.
Dr. Van Helsing, Dr. Seward and I this morning went on board the Tsarina Catherine, which lay at anchor out in the river harbour. There we saw the captain, Donaldson by name, who told us of his voyage.
Man, I never saw the like of that trip in all my life. Thick fog hung o'er us, and yet a tearing wind driving us all the road for the Thames mouth to the Black Sea. No canny it was. But there was uncanniness that voyage for the very start of it. Just when we was all set for to cast off for London, down the quay comes a man with a great big box, to be put aboard at once, he tells us, for shipping to Galatz. He was a queer-looking old man, and I see the foreign deck hands cowering awa, putting out 12 fingers at him, to ward off the evil eye. Oh, Lord help us, I says, you poor superstitious Egypts. But I was wrong, sir, deed wrong. Mr. Van Helsing, if ever devil's luggage was put aboard a man's ship, I tell you, it was yon big, long box.
Who came to take it away? Do you know the man? And where can we find him?
I can that, sir. Here's my receipts. Here's it. Emanuel Hildesheim, Bergenstrasse 16.
We found Hildesheim in his office, a Hebrew with a nose like a sheep.
Yes. I received a letter from a Mr. Deville of London, instructing me to receive, if possible before sunrise, so as to avoid customs, a box which would arrive at Galatz in the Tsarina Catherine. I was to give this box in charge to one Petrov Skinsky, which I did. And that is all I know of the matter.
We then sought for Skinsky, but the landlord at his lodgings said that he had gone away. No one knew whither.
He returned his key by messenger, and rent you in English money between 10 and 11 o'clock last night.
Come, quick! The body of Skinsky. It is found inside the churchyard of St. Peter. The throat, it is torn open, like as by some wild animal. This is work of a Slovak, I tell you.
As we came home, we could arrive at no definite conclusion. We were all convinced that the box was on its way by water to somewhere, but where that might be we would have to discover. With heavy hearts we came home to the hotel to Mina. One thing we decided, and that was to take Mina into our confidence again, and I was released from my promise to her. We got for her all the papers she had not seen, and in the evening, with all of us together, Mina presented her conclusions.
My belief is this. The Count has decided to get back to his castle by water, as the most safe and secret way, since he's confined between dawn and sunset, helpless in his wooden box. We know something of what he's doing. The box is on water, somewhere, moving along. He's murdered Skinsky in an attempt to cover his tracks. Now, look at the map. In my trance, you have noticed that I heard water swirling level with my ears and the creaking of wood. That means they are working against the stream. The river then could be either the Seret or the Pruth. Now the Seret is joined by the Bistritza here, where it runs up round the Borgo Pass, and the loop it makes is as close as you can get by water to Dracula's castle.
Our dear Madam Mina is once more our teacher. Now we must plan what each and all shall do.
I shall get a steam launch and follow him.
And I'll go with horses on the bank in case he lands.
Well, let me go with Quincy. We do have Winchesters, and there may be wolves.
Friend Jonathan, you go with Lord Godalming in the so swift little steamboat. You are strong and can fight, and all energies may be needed at the last. I will take Madam Mina with me. Her hypnotic power will surely help.
Do as you will. We are in the hands of God.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 1st of November.
We have now passed into the Bistritza, and some Slovaks on the way told us that earlier on a big boat passed them, going at more than usual speed with a double crew of oarsmen.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 2nd of November.
3 days on the road and no news. We must push on. Later we heard that the launch had been detained by an accident while trying to force her way up the rapids. She is off on the chase again, but more slowly. We must push on harder than ever. Our help may be wanted soon.
From the Journal of Abraham Van Helsing, 2nd of November.
It is night, and we have been all day long driving. The great spurs of the Carpathians are now gathering round us and towering in front. At dawn, I hypnotized Madame Mina.
Darkness, creaking wood, and roaring water.
So the river is changing as they ascend. We shall reach the Borgo Pass in daylight. Tomorrow the last of many battles we mean to fight. God grant that we may be guided aright. We are in his hands now.
Memorandum by Abraham Van Helsing, 4th of November.
It is morning and cold. Oh, cold. The sky is heavy and full of snow, which seems to have affected Madame Mina. She heavy of head all day, and sleeps. She even have lost her appetite. At sunset I try to hypnotize her, but with no effect. The power grows less each day. Yesterday, at the Borgo Pass, just before dawn, Madame Mina yielded herself, but more slow, to the hypnotic sleep.
Darkness, and the swirling of water.
Then she wake, bright and radiant, and we go on. We are going up and up, and all is so wild and rocky, as though it were the end of the world. Madame Mina still sleep, and she look more healthy and more redder than before, and I like it not. Oh, I am afraid, but I must go on my way. The stake we play for is life and death, or more than these. 5th of November. All yesterday we travel, moving into more wild and desert land. Madame Mina still sleep. I could not waken her even for food. I began to fear that the fatal spell of the place was upon her, tainted as she is with that vampire baptism. As the sun go down, we came near the top of a steep rising hill, on summit of which was such a castle as Jonathan tell of in his diary. So I feed the horses, and I make a fire, and near it I have Madame Mina sit comfortable. Now she wake. She would not eat, but I myself eat, for I must be strong for all. Then, with a fear on me of what might be, I drew a ring so big for her comfort round where Madame Mina sat. And over the ring I passed some of the wafer, and I broke it so fine that all was well guarded. She sat still all the time, so still as one dead, and she grew whiter and ever whiter, till the snow was not more pale, and no word she said. Presently the horses began to scream, and I had to go to them and quiet them. Then all was grim silence, and the snowflakes and the mist began to wheel and circle around, till I got a glimpse of those weird women that Jonathan saw in the room, when they would have kissed his throat. The horses cowered as if in terror of the worst, and I began to fear for my dear Madame Mina. I was going to step to the fire to replenish it.
No, do not go outside the circle. Here you are safe.
Come, sister.
Come to us.
Come.
Do not be afraid.
It is for you I fear.
I fear for me. None is safer in all the world from them than I am.
And in the firelight I see the red scar on her forehead, and then I knew. I fed the fire. The horses lay still on the ground, the snow falling on them softly. No more terror for them. They are all dead. And so we remained, till the red of dawn began to fall through the snow gloom, and the horrid figures melted in the swirling mist and snow.
From the Journal of Jonathan Harker, 4th of November.
The accident to the launch has been a terrible thing for us. Otherwise we should have overtaken the boat long ago, and my dear Mina would have been free. Now we have got horses, and we follow on the track.
From the Diary of Dr. Seward, 5th of November.
With the dawn we saw the Sagani before us with their wagon. They hurried along as though beset. The snow is falling, and far off I hear the howling of wolves. We ride to death of someone. God alone knows who or where or how it may be.
Memorandum by Abraham Van Helsing, 5th of November, afternoon.
When I left Madam Mina sleeping within the holy circle, I took my way to the castle. I knew that there were at least 3 graves to find, graves that are in habit. So I search and find one of them. She lay in her vampire sleep, so full of life and voluptuousness. Oh, the beauty and fascination of the wanton undead. And man is weak. But I remember the voice of my dear Madam Mina, and I braced myself again to my horrid task. I find the 2 more of the sisters, oh, so beautiful, make my head whirl. There was one great tomb, more lordly than all the rest. Huge it was, and nobly proportioned. On it was but one word, Dracula. This, then, was the undead home of the king vampire. It was empty, so I laid there in the tomb some of the wafer and banished him from it undead for ever. Then, to restore the 3 women to their dead selves, oh, it was butcher work. But, God be thanked, my nerve did stand. Had I not seen the repose in the first phase, and the gladness that stole over it just ere the final dissolution came, as realization that the soul had been won, I could not have gone further with my butchery. I could not have endured the horrid screeching as the stake drove home, the plunging of writhing form and lips of bloody foam. I should have fled in terror and left my work undone. But it is over. For hardly had my knife severed the head of each, before the whole body began to melt away and crumble into native dust. Before I left the castle, I so fixed its entrances that never more can the Count enter there undead. Then to dear Madam Mina, who woke from her safe sleep in the circle.
Come away from this awful place. Let us go to meet my husband and our friends who I know are coming.
This way, here we shall be in shelter. Madam Mina, look! There in the east, the wagon. And see, the great chest is on it. They are racing for the sunset. We may be too late.
No! There are Quincy and John, following fast, and on the other side Jonathan and Arthur. See, take the field glasses.
Now they have caught them, and the gypsies have stopped. Quick, let us go to them. The sun is almost setting.
Make way! Let us through! Stand back!
No, you do not pass. Rather, you die.
Jonathan, quickly, the box. Open it. There he is. Count Dracula. Just like a waxen image.
Now use your knives. Now! The sun is almost down. Now, or it is too late.
Body is crumbling. It's turning into dust. It's gone. Gone forever. Thank God.
Look to Quincy. He's hurt bad.
I'm only too happy to have been of service. Oh, God. It was worth this to die. Look. The mark has gone from Mina. Now God be thanked that all has not been in vain. See, the snow is not more stainless than her forehead. The curse has passed away. Ah, thank
Amen.
And so died a gallant gentleman. Now 7 years have passed since we all went through the flames. It is a joy to Mina and to me that our boy's birthday is the same day as that on which Quincy Morris died. We call him Quincy. In the summer of this year we made a journey to Transylvania, and went over the old ground which was and is to us so full of vivid and terrible memories. It was impossible to believe that the things we had seen with our own eyes and heard with our own ears were living truths. Every trace of all that had been was blotted out. The castle stood as before, reared high above a waste of desolation. When we got home, we got to talking of the old time. The happiness of some of us since then is, we think, well worth the pain we endured. Arthur and Jack are both happily married now. I took all the papers from the safe. No one would ever accept them as proofs of so wild a story. Van Helsing summed it all up as he sat with our boy on his knee.
We want no proofs. We ask none to believe us. This boy will some day know what a brave and gallant woman his mother is. Already he knows her sweetness and loving care, and later on he will understand how some men so loved her that they did dare much for her sake.